Coming soon to this theater.
What up, everybody? It's Brian, back for another episode of CG Horror Movie Talk. And, no, wait, Horror Movie Club. How many times have I changed the name of this, of the stream anyway? I've changed it a million times. I'll probably change it like a million more. You never know. It's a living thing, you know? It's like the Blob. It keeps absorbing new things and changing shape and whatever. Anyway, we are here tonight to talk about Dan O'Bannon's absolute cult classic, 1985's Return of the Living Dead. I remember seeing this in the theater when it came out. 1985, great year for zombie movies because that was the year that we got both this, Return of the Living Dead, and George Romero's Day of the Dead. And I'm going to get into like all the little details because there was like some legal issues and that sort of a thing. And some people were confused. Why are there like two? There's like a Romero zombie movie and then there's a non-Romero zombie movie. Remember, at this time, the only people that were into zombie movies were like real deviants and trolls like me and like, real, I got friends in low places and, me and my friends, we showed up for this movie. I wish I actually was hoping I had the Cramps t-shirt I was wearing the night that I originally saw this. Anyway, enough of my yakking. Let me bring in my boy, your boy, Matt Butch Cleaver Park.
Hell yeah. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm all right, brother. I'm all right. Better now that you're here.
Oh, me too, man. Can't wait to talk about this movie.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm like Sim in the chat. What up, Sim? Hop in here when you feel like it. I'm expecting some people to turn up because this movie gets a lot of love and it gets it legitimately. I got my suspenders. I got my Keep Music Evil shirt, right, which is pretty punk rock. And hold on, it's a little dark. I need to offer evidence here that I'm wearing my combats. Got my combat boots on. Because you never know when you're gonna get into a scrape at the hardcore show.
A little squabble.
You little squabble.
Slam dancers.
Well, no, I mean, slam dancing was never as violent as it looked.
Right.
The way it was depicted in movies and TV shows, it wasn't like that, right?
Yeah.
Like, you could be like a little chick and be in a mosh pit, and you'd be okay because if you went down, there'd be somebody to pick you back up and keep you going, right? Yeah. And mosh pits only became dangerous once you had people that weren't punks that were showing up to shows, and it always looked more violent than it was, and then it actually became that.
Yeah.
I remember at like a Skinny Puppy show in 90 or 89, I think. People were coming out of that pit with their heads split open.
Whew.
Yeah, I was just like, I think I'm ready to retire. My slam dancing days are over.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know if you watched anything cool this week. I watched I think 3 new movies that I hadn't seen before. Did you watch anything new?
No, I just watched this one again. Just touched up on it, and I told you about that those tickets I almost got for the Voyage of the Demeter.
Yeah. And that's not the Neil Marshall movie that he was, I guess, gonna make. I guess that's not gonna happen.
No, it's showing right now over in Orange County somewhere because I'm on this email list where they send me movies to go see, to screen it before audiences, and to rate it and stuff.
Oh, that's the best.
And I've been on it for 10 years, but I never read it because I just But now I'm starting to look at them to see what they got, and I was like, "Whoa, we were just talking about this." I think when Narwhal was on, I think, or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Whoa, I got to tell Brian about this." So that was cool. And then it's pretty. I mean, I went and saw Batman. Did you see that shit?
No, Not yet. Not yet.
Oh no. Oh, okay.
No, well, I mean, I never go see a movie. Certainly not a big tentpole movie. I
Yeah.
never see those on opening weekend because I'm not crazy about crowds to begin with, and I
Yeah.
hate having fucking sit there and like some bitches on their phone.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
it's distracting as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what did you think of it? What did you think of the new Batman?
I really liked it, man. I mean, there's a couple like lines of cringe dialogue, and it might have been a little long, but for me, I don't really mind the length of it because I like the universe. I like Gotham when it's like that. I really like it felt like like the Tim Burton movies a little bit. It's almost like it took a little bit from a lot of the movies and that came out already. Even like Adam West, like there's inspirations, little things here and there. A lot of '90s movies like The Crow, a lot of David Fincher, like Zodiac 7 vibes. Sherlock Holmes, like a lot of little shit here and there.
Nice.
I don't know, like there's a lot of stuff going on, dude. Like it felt like kind of like it's pretty epic.
Nice.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
I keep hearing nothing but great things about it.
A lot of people say it was too long, and I mean there's a little bit of cringe dialogue with Catwoman, but other than that, it didn't hurt my butt or nothing. I mean, it didn't take me out of the movie for that long, so I was like, all right, cool, whatever. Because it's kind of like current year, and I like if that character was alive now, she probably would say some shit like that. But
right,
it was that, and then I don't really give a fuck. I was just glad to see like the cool Gotham, cool Penguin, cool Batman doing being scary. People were fucking scared of him in the movie. Like there was like I don't want to spoil it too much, but Christine was a big Sims ready or
F you Sim. I shot the link. Wait, I'm sorry. Did I hurt your fifis? I gotta shoot it to you personal like. You're not gonna use the link that's in the horror movie club.
The one thing I'd say about the movie, like for me, which was fucking weird, was that another thing that I haven't heard anybody talk about, and I've heard thousands of fucking people talking about it. The internal monologue. I love that. They didn't have it that I remember in any other Batman movies. Just in the Christian Bale teaser that they never showed.
And that's a big no. You're not supposed to do that in movies.
No, and he does it like 2 or 3 times in the fucking movie. So I was like, yeah, motherfucker. And then people were scared of him. But for me, the only other thing I wanted was another fight scene. And people were saying like, oh, Riddler didn't have an arc, Batman didn't have an arc, but I'm like, no, like for me, usually an arc is someone starts somewhere at something, and then they when the story's over, they end as something else. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be a big arc or a good one or a bad one, but for me, that's kind of an arc. Like there's some significant difference, or there's a difference, but it doesn't have to be significant or insignificant. There's a difference. For me, that's an arc, and I felt that Batman had one. Penguin fucking had one, and I could point them out. Riddler had one. Catwoman had one. They all fucking had one. And so it felt like 3 movies kind of pushed together a little bit, but it was big, dude. They're laying down a fucking foundation for like a trilogy or some shit. So like the Christopher Nolan movies. I could talk about that shit for days, though. That fucking movie.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. And Sim is right. I am a boomer because I thought I placed the link in the horror movie.
I'm a boomer too. Yeah, I can't wait to see what you think about it, dude.
Evidently, I mean, I don't know if I'll check it out in its theatrical release, but I don't know. We'll see. Simon Poitier in the house. What is going on?
Good thing you corrected it before I come, because I was going to go like, what's this hashtag blame Sim again?
Hey man, I copped to my fuck ups. What can I say? I always confess to that.
I saw you smirk when you saw my little thing with Travolta going, where is it?
Yo, what? What you doing? Fool?
Like, I'm not gonna miss that one. I actually saw this movie.
Yeah, man.
God damn it! You got bots now. I have to go back in the chat.
There it is for everybody to enjoy. we see. There we go. Block.
I'm on it.
All right. Oh, that's right. You got Orange.
Yep.
Sim, how are you doing, brother, man?
I'm doing great. I just launched Telson and Adverse yesterday. We're at 41% in less than 24 hours, which is pretty goddamn good.
Booyah!
Awesome.
I'm asking 5K, so a bit more than you. But expenses have got higher, and printing a colored comic
Oh,
and now
for sure.
it's 80 page because I started with the 60 page before. Now I start off at 80. When we there's like a 10K stretch goal when it becomes a 90 plus page with an extra story.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
And at 20K, that new story of 13 page becomes 26 because I add part 3, which completes the entire Blood Brother story.
Oh.
So I'm pretty happy. It's doing pretty goddamn good. And so far, a lot of people are liking that secret perk that's only for the people that back my campaigns before, because it's not just for the mailing list. It's all my previous backers. So they got a $50 off being off the being Planet 69. And
Nice.
I also offered them like for an extra $50. Like technically, like if you buy the sketch cover with a sketch on it, it's $100, $25 off type of thing on the campaign.
Yeah.
But for them, it's $150. They get the sketch cover plus the sketch on it, plus everything else, like the two covers, the prints, the this, and and everything that's unlocked.
Yeah, I haven't backed it yet, so
I haven't backed it yet either.
I will ASAP.
But I am.
You know I'm all over that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I hope he at least gets funded in the first week. That would be freaking awesome. Because I'm hoping to unlock some stuff before we go in demand. Because when I go in demand, I close those extra pages for production. Yeah,
I was hoping that the new 6-gun, which just started shipping, by the way, folks.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do more. I wanted to do some backup stories. I wanted to start introducing some of the characters from the 6-Gun Gorilla extended universe, right? And didn't get to do it because my campaign is pretty much stalled out at like what 13K. I mean, not to bitch, because I know there's other people out there, they're struggling, just to get funded or just to make like 3K, 4K, 5K. So, I'm grateful for every penny, but it is frustrating, because it's just like, God damn it, man. It's like send me more money so I can make more comics.
Yeah, but that's why I say transparency and being straightforward on the campaign. Like I make sure that they understand that the 5K, it's only enough to fulfill.
Right.
And they have to know that past 10K, it's where you want to be. Then past 15K, it's where you're like, okay, we're good.
Right.
Well, here's the
Especially
thing.
for me, that's my book is like 80 page. I'm not going to talk for people that have like a 24 page or
right.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm trying to get everything like where 69% of the book is done. Okay, a bit more. I just think it's gimmicky to say 69%.
Gross it is. It's super juvenile, but fuck it.
Yeah, but it's not just that. Like in that one, I put the first story I ever wrote of Nat, and it was called Planet 69. So I'm like, if I'm gonna have fun with 69, it's gonna be with that one. So I have to go all out. So there's like 2 tiers of $69.
Why not?
There's 2 tiers of $96, and the biggest tier, you're gonna love that one, Brian. The biggest tier, which is you have a role in Talents of the Nanaverse 3.
Ooh.
It's $420.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah.
Totally
oh man, let's see this full potheads, man. I love it. But yeah, dude, the first Tales from the Natverse was so much fun.
Yeah, it was.
I just enjoyed the hell out of it. As I know I sound like a broken record, but it's worth repeating. Heavy metal isn't heavy metal anymore, right?
Rusted aluminum.
Yeah, rusted aluminum, tin shack. It's woke fucking garbage.
Because of you, I came up with this
camping.
line.
Yeah.
Because of you, I came up with this line. More metal than heavy metal.
Yeah, well, it is. Because that's what I'm saying. Heavy metal's not heavy metal anymore. Tales from the Natverse is heavy metal.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Right? So it's just like, oh shit, there's no more heavy metal. That's okay. Sim got you back.
That's where I'm from.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And
so
this movie there that you got there, love the goddamn cover. It's one of my goddamn favorite zombie movies ever.
Oh,
I love it.
of course.
My favorite.
I'm a huge fan of Dan O'Bannon, and most people don't even know that he's the creator of this movie too, and the guy from Aliens.
Well, he wrote the screenplay for Alien when he was on a friend's couch. I think he was like pretty much homeless, and he was couch.
Yeah, it was after the 2 years of production of the Dune with Jodorowsky. He went into depression. Like he quit. He went to live at one of his like they all get a lot of them ended up broken. like treated for depression. Like there were like 2 years of investment of like thinking everything's gonna be fine. You have all the biggest name. Like, come on, they thought the thing was solid.
I know.
Dude, they
I know.
had everybody. They had Dali on.
I know. He was going to be
They're
the highest paid actor of all time.
Yeah,
It's the only way he would
$1,000 an
agree to
hour.
be in it as Harkonnen. Yeah.
And the thing is, that got canceled, so they all got super down, depressed. He was homeless. He lived at a friend, and that's how he came up with Aliens, with Mobius doing all the concept art and storyboards.
Which, of course, then catapulted his career
And
into the stratosphere as a
fun fact,
as a screenwriter.
Fun fact:
Yeah.
Walt Simonson worked on Aliens.
He not only did he work on Alien, he also the first printing of the heavy metal graphic novel adaptation of Alien, which is illustrated by.
Can you hear it? That's what I'm shaking right now.
Oh shit!
Aliens, the illustrated story by Archie Goodwin and Walt Simonson.
Yeah, man. Also, he had Crohn's disease, which is where the chest burster evidently comes from, because he was like sitting there,
That's
working
what
on
I
this
have.
thing. Yeah, and
I don't talk about
so
it.
Crohn's is no fucking joke. That shit will kill you if you don't take care of yourself. And so like that's he was having so severe bowel pain. That's the origin of the chest burster, evidently. But yeah, Dan O'Bannon, man,
And those things are not funny.
No, I've heard it's described as having like a red hot dagger just like stuck in your gut and then just like twisted around.
Yep, right there on the side there. It's like having a really hot, glaive knife right there all the time, and somebody's twisting it.
Yeah.
Horrible,
And you get those at least once a month, and if you're lucky, maybe 2 months.
Oh, God.
Depends on how you
If you take care of
and
yourself.
sometimes but it's like sesame seeds will give me pain, but once in a while it's like fuck you.
Okay.
Same thing with sriracha, not sriracha, I mean the other one. Fuck, it's escaping. Sriracha's in my head, but no, it's the other one I'm looking, the pepper that we
Tapatio, or wait, habanero, jalapeno.
No, the other one that everybody the most famous one now. It's everywhere.
Sriracha.
Chipotle.
Oh, Chipotle. Oh yeah.
I love that stuff. My stomach, not so much.
Yeah, that's my relationship with curry, right? Like I have it maybe once a year because I love curry. Curry don't like me.
Yeah, me neither.
Man. Busy the
Butter
run.
chicken.
Yeah.
Butter chicken. It's freaking awesome. But then I'm out for 2 days.
But sometimes you gotta have it.
Yeah, dude. It's like my bro told me a story of one of his friends. Okay, in Mexico, the guy was a rich guy. Right? It doesn't have to do with the story, but just as the person, okay. Describe as the person and why he's doing what he did.
Yeah.
And the guy was allergic to peanut butter since birth, so he never tasted peanut butter. But he's always smelled it, thought it smelled good. People always saying how good it was. So eventually, there's a moment where he went, "Okay, I have it. I had enough. It's fucking happening." He grabs a fucking slice of peanut butter and like a slice of bread, puts a thick layer of peanut butter, takes the insulin shot, shoots himself in the fucking leg, swallow is down. He's like, "Oh, this is so fucking good. This is so fucking good." He goes, "Please, somebody dial 911."
Oh man, that's funny as fuck.
Dude, at least he got to know what it was at least once in his fucking life.
Right. Fuck it, man. Yeah. No, I mean, like my friend Charles, who, by the way, dude, if you're watching, I know you're going through tough times right now. Mind and hearts with you. He's allergic to everything, and he's a amateur gourmet chef, right?
Okay.
So in the one sense, it's kind of cruel, but because he can't have like a lot of food. Like it's like, hey, want to go get Thai food? Can't. Allergic to peanuts. Like crap, right? So he's great at creating substitutions. I keep telling him, dude, you need to write like I'm allergic to everything cookbook. So you have like for instance, he created like he can't have like soy
you should call
sauce.
it allergenic cooking.
Right.
So it's clear out there.
Yeah, because I mean, it's just it sucks when like people like me can just go and jam anything I want into my yam pretty much, and there's other people. Speaking of my friend Charles Boy, we're really digressing here, but that's what the show's all about is the digression.
I have a segue question for you.
Yes.
What happens, do you think, to a zombie when he has like food allergies or he has like Crohn's disease? Do you think he can still eat people?
Yeah.
Or do you think that's do you think that's the problem, that they're so in pain that's why they're always walking around like,
these ones need brains.
Well, it depends on the zombie. It depends on the zombie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's worth mentioning that I mean, even normies know the whole like zombies eating brains thing. It comes from this movie.
This movie, but don't forget that another thing that people don't know, that Dan O'Bannon wrote the freaking plane thing in Heavy Metal magazine.
Yes.
And that was the first place that he did the brains.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
He has the exact same feel as Return of the Living Dead. Like if you haven't seen it, go watch freaking Heavy Metal Anime, the first movie.
Oh my God.
Because if you've never seen it, there's something missing in your life.
Yeah. And this is one of those movies too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, on the one hand, it's just like the only people who haven't seen this movie are cowards and assholes.
I always forget her name, but the redhead scene, like it's so like what the fuck in the middle of the goddamn movie, but it's so fucking cool.
There's a lot of what the fuck moments in here. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too. It's like, if you haven't seen this, go check it out. The link is in the description. It's one of the reasons why we do the stream, is so if you can learn about new movies, or you can learn about old movies that you haven't seen but that you really should see. So click on the link below. You can watch it for free on Tubi, unedited, but like with commercials. And we wanted to do this movie before, but we couldn't find a free copy anywhere. And I just did a search this past week, and boom, it was on there. So I was we're doing Return of the Living Dead.
And I think it would be fun also to mention that it's a rare thing that George Romero vouch for your movie, especially when you have a different type of zombies that he does.
Yeah.
And he did love that one. Yeah, that one. And remember Shaun of the Dead?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, because here's the thing about Romero. His attitude was always, he loved when people took his thing and did something new with it. He didn't like it when you made them run.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, it's important to remember, okay, it's 1985. You're me, and you love horror movies, and for me, the way I understand Star Wars fans is I think to myself, oh, they feel about the original Star Wars trilogy the way I feel about Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, right? So Day of the Dead was on its way out, right? And so I and every other serious horror fan, we were just like, psyched. And then we found out that this was coming out. Now, what happened was John Russo was credited as co-screenwriter on Night of the Living Dead. Night of the Living Dead, of course, didn't make any money for the people who made it because they fucked up and they forgot to copyright it. And so it went into the public domain immediately. So they made nothing. Think about that. We're talking about like one of the benchmark horror films, right?
Yeah.
And top 5 easy, right? And these people didn't make any money. So Romero's attitude when somebody wanted to do something like this, go ahead and do it, right? Just, please don't try and make it seem like it's one of my movies.
Right.
And I remember going to see this. We'd seen the commercials. I'd read the Fangoria article. Where they described the production of this was a nightmare.
Yeah, and there was a lot of Italian trying to rip him off too back then. Like
Oh
Italian
yeah,
movies.
I love those though. I love those.
Yeah,
Like,
but you have to understand why you would piss him off though when
Oh,
you're trying to do exactly like he does.
Oh my God, Hell of the Living Dead. One of the funniest things about Hell of the Living Dead is that it's an hour and 45 minutes long. And while you're watching it, you're like, oh my God, like they're making this longer so that it's more like Dawn of the Dead. They actually are increasing the running time so it seems longer like Dawn of the Dead. Those movies, Lucio Fulci's Zombie really isn't that much of a ripoff. The zombie makeup in that's fantastic because the zombies look like they came out of the ground, right? They're not just painted blue. But I remember going to the theater to see this, and I was, I'm not so sure about this. So the movie had to kind of win me over. And there's that wonderful scene where James Cameron leans forward and says, "Have you ever seen that movie, Night of the Living Dead?" And I was like, okay, we're good. We're good. Because to me, that was a declaration. That was a declaration of, look, everybody, this is not a George Romero zombie movie. It's not pretending to be. This is something different. This is something new. Give us a chance, and hopefully we'll take you someplace new and interesting and fun. By
making you understand that George Romero is just a movie in that movie, so it's kind of like it's gonna be worse. In a way, it's kind of like it's gonna be worse now.
This one's like the punk metal version, dude.
Yeah, boy, is it worse, man. It's because these are like the worst zombies you could possibly imagine.
And
now,
do you agree with Matt that I should not waste my time and watch 2 and 3?
You should watch. You shouldn't watch 2. 2 is an abortion. 2 is an absolute slap in the face to the fans of this movie. The only and one of the things that's really just drives me nuts about Return of the Living Dead Part 2 is that it's by Ken Wiederhorn, who made one of the best zombie movies ever, which is Shockwaves, which is about like nautical Nazi zombies.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
They're walking around underwater. It's fucking creepy as fuck, right? Return of the Living Dead Part 3, a very pleasant surprise.
I have to check that out.
Okay. It's very good. I really like that one.
That's not the Necropolis one, is it?
No.
They made a.
Is that the Savini one?
No, the Savini one was the 1990 remake of Night of the Living Dead.
I love that one. I like that one more than the original one.
Blasphemy. But it's very good, and it was the screenplay for that was written by Romero, so the entire movie has the feeling like it was designed for people who are already fans. So it's like it assumed that you knew the original movie, and and it was, well, today we would call it subverting expectations, but it would turn left where in the previously it had turned right. And that's all the way through that movie. It just keeps turning like that, and in a fun and interesting way. So yeah, no, I really like the 1990 Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, and O'Bannon did not just write; he produced it. He was a director.
Oh yeah. This was his directorial debut. I was going to say, and he said it was a nightmare. The budget he kept getting chopped up while he was making the movie. He had to fire the original special effects artist because he wasn't doing his job. And William Stout came on to replace that guy. And he did a bang-up job, but with like very, very little time and like virtually no money. That's why this movie has always had a semi-finished feel to it. I always felt that the ending felt way too wrapped up.
Yep. That I do have to agree, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that disappointed me about this movie when I first saw it. But it was still awesome. And O'Bannon was originally not happy with how the movie turned out. He was very, very dispirited and discouraged. But he said in later years, the more time that went on, the older the movie got, the more he felt proud of it. it's one of those movies that has aged very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
It is
It was ahead of its time.
Yeah,
it was way ahead.
And obviously,
still is.
from what I heard, is the way that the reason why he had a problem with him mostly was mainly because of the reaction of people on it.
Mm.
It was like he put a lot of work. It was really freaking hard to do. He didn't get exactly the vision that he might have wanted.
No,
like he would have had it to be higher quality. That's for sure. Right?
That's for sure.
But it was ahead of his time, and the people were like, "Yeah, I don't know." People were were pessimistic to it, but the review, like the answer of the fans, made also change the views to him when he saw the answer of people to it.
Yeah, everybody loves this movie.
It's
I don't know
crazy too, man. Like there's like you could build a universe off of just all these different zombie like
Dude,
types. I mean, you got the Tar Man, you got the fucking punker chick, you got the fucking yellow dude in the beginning, you got the fucking jock. Like there's just all these like different zombies, you know. Different
The dwarf zombie. That's my favorite one.
You know,
it wasn't one of the first.
You got the
wasn't
the
one of the
torso.
first movie to go to go full comedy gore, like the not caring about being funny. You know what I mean?
I think Evil Dead was first or two, maybe.
Well, Evil Dead 2 is when the comedy was greater than the horror.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
One of the things I loved about this movie when I first saw it is it actually works as a horror movie.
Yeah,
there are moments in this that are really creepy.
The fucking
There are
Tar Man's
moments-
terrifying, dude. Like that was
Yeah, but that's the
scared
thing.
me.
It's not a skit. It's not a comedy skit. Like in Evil and
not a satire.
Evil Dead 2, it feels like it's made to be a comedy skit. It's made to be funny, right?
Yeah,
Gory but
definitely.
funny.
Yes.
That one, it's like what I'm trying to do when I write. Like I wrote Blood Hunt. I wrote Blood Hunt like it's a dark this that, but what's happening in it will make you giggle.
Yes.
The way you react to things, I will make situation or reaction that you'll go.
Exactly. That's where the comedy comes from. That's where, as opposed to just making the whole thing goofy. Because if you watch Return of the Living Dead Part 2, which I strongly advise against, that's just a satire. That's all it is. It's just a comedy. And it's a really piss poor retread of this film. That's why Return of the Living Dead Part 3 was such a pleasant surprise. It's also the only Brian Yuzna movie I can think of that I think is actually really good. And some of the zombies in that are fantastic.
Damn.
And they got to do stuff in that special effects wise that they never could have done in this, right? For instance, the zombies are eating brains. Now, the people that come back after having their brains eaten, right? Well, certainly their heads should look like they've been hollowed out. You actually see that in Return of the Living Dead Part 3. There's Riverman. You can't forget Riverman. So definitely put that Return of the Living Dead Part 3 very, very high on your list. I'm not saying it's as good as this one, but it's certainly
that's the poster.
This was the original poster. Because one of the things I love to do on this stream is show like the different posters from different countries. See that as an 18 certificate. I think this is a UK poster.
When I was
and some of the fan posters, man. Look at that one.
Looks like Corbin. When I was in elementary school, man, they took line. I was in a play like where everyone had to sing, in like 6th grade. And there was this kids talking about this movie in the play, like, yeah, and then there's zombies and it starts raining acid rain onto the, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, oh, that's cool. And then later on in life, I discovered this movie, and I always saw that cover in the video store, but I never rented it. I don't even remember when I seen this. I was like on cable one time, and I was like, what the fuck?
More cups.
I was like, oh my god! And then Tar Man, I was like, that's fucking scary as fuck. You know what I mean? And yeah, and then just the whole intro is just so like believable. Like it's just everything about it. It makes you
and
think
it's
too.
fun,
Like
man.
I love that. I love the fact that they use the voodoo zombie-ish. Like I know it's not called the voodoo zombie, but that's technically the trope of it. Like you have the dead that comes back from the dead, right? They're dead corpses. But the voodoo one were the ones that would eat brains that you could cut to pieces, and the hand would still come after you.
That's not dude. I hate to correct you. But that's not the voodoo zombie. Voodoo zombies are basically almost like automatons. They're slaves.
So which one? Yeah,
they're using slave labor, and the worst thing
you can cut them to pieces.
Strangle you to death.
Yeah, but you can cut them to pieces and they're still gonna come at you.
No, that was never part. No, that's not part of the lore. It also
Okay.
depends on if you're talking about the original Haitian lore or if you're talking about the
African?
movies, right?
Oh, okay,
Uh,
okay.
There's a great book by Wade Davis called "The Serpent and the
And
Rainbow."
the rainbow. Yeah.
The movie, which I think is terrific, is a
Craven,
fantasy. Yeah, by Wes Craven.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's a fantasy based on a nonfiction book
Yeah.
journal by this journalist, this anthropologist, Wade Davis, who went to Haiti to find the zombie formula, and really went to like extreme lengths. Like when they gave him like what he wanted him to think was the original formula, he was like, "This was way too easy," and he was like, "What's this shit?" Like, I'm not taking it. He hadn't even tested it. He had no idea what was in there. So he just did a bluff. And eventually they discovered what the zombie drug is. The effective ingredient is actually poison from a pufferfish. That puts people into a death-like state. They are then buried alive.
Yeah.
Exhumed.
Yep.
With brain damage and told, you are a zombie. You are the living dead. You work for me now. You do this, you do that, right? And the interesting thing was that, this is just an unspeakable, horrible, ghastly thing to do to a human being. But every single one of the people that this had happened to, it turned out everybody hated them. That they were assholes to everybody. And so in a way, and I'm not condoning it, but in a way it was like almost as if they had it coming, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, the voodoo zombie is not a flesh eater. They don't the individual parts don't.
So then I meant the curse one, I guess.
Here's one right here.
It's where the body don't stop.
Everybody be a zombie expert like me.
That's where I got the inspiration for mine in my book.
Right.
Boom.
Right. Well, isn't it interesting that in this, the zombies are so influential that they've become part of the lore, right? Even normies are like, "Oh, brains!" It comes from this movie. This is a really cool looking French poster. Le Retour des Morts Vivants, and that I think actually does have some Corbin. Look at the zombies here. Look at the Confederate zombie in particular.
Oh yeah, that's definitely Corbined out.
Right? I think whoever made this definitely
that at Templeton.
Yeah.
Remember the guy that did the other vampire story, 20 Days of Night or something?
Oh, 30 Days of Night. Yeah. Ben Templesmith.
Yeah,
He just did a book too on Indiegogo right now.
Oh yeah, Original Hate, about a group of Neanderthals that's thought out in the modern age, and just go around just ripping people to pieces. They're just like, "Oh shit, Homo erectus, kill!" Right? It's these humans. They're the ones that destroyed our villages and killed our women and our kids and all that stuff. Yeah, that looks tight. I'm looking forward to that. Sim, would you translate this for us?
Ils sont de retour, ils ont faim, ils ne sont pas végétariens. So they're back, they're hungry, and they're not vegetarians.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, man. So, my God, man.
Sorry, talking about zombies, I'm getting Return of the Living Dead 3, and I'm getting Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, and Night of the Dead. And remember, how long did it take for you to realize what they were doing in Shaun of the Dead when they're like, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead?
Yeah. That's what the inspiration for that was they had a scene in Spaced, which was a series that Nick Frost and Simon Pegg did, where there were just it was a house full of misfit toys, basically, these damaged human beings, and one of them is playing too much Resident Evil 2, and they go out and he starts having these zombie visions, and that was the starting point for Shaun of the Dead. And Shaun of the Dead, absolutely fantastic. One of the best of zombie movies, for sure. Now, this one, what can you say just even about this intro? The events portrayed in this film are all true. The names are real names of real people and real organizations.
Oh man.
Yeah, it just like the whole attitude of it was just so different.
It was like they were trying to do like a Candid Cam type of movie, like Blair Witch. Like they're trying to make you say this is real. Okay, Night of the Dead is a movie, so all the movies that you know about horror, they're movies, and this is not a movie.
Right,
this is
the true story.
Yeah,
right.
Found footage.
So James Karen plays Frank, who is the boss at the Unita medical supply joint. Tom Matthews plays Freddy, and so he's getting the grand tour, and he's showing him like the skeletons, and has that wonderful line about like, what does PT stand for? Perfect teeth. He's like, how many people do you know die with a full set of choppers? And then he makes that comment about the skeleton farm in India. And interesting bit of trivia, that is where most skeletons did come from.
Oh, wow.
When this was made, because O'Bannon did his research. After this movie came out, India had an embargo on skeletons.
Oh man.
No more skeletons from India. Yeah, which I ain't saying nothing, but you can put two and two together in your head, right? We gotta close down. Shit, they know about the skeleton farms. We gotta close them down. Yeah. Oh yeah. I actually got the my copy of the DVD right here. I remember when this came out, it was $10.
Damn.
And one of the things here, let me blow this up because this is really, really cool. The cover, I don't know if you could see this here. Let me try this for a second. But the cover is actually glow in the dark. Yeah, you can't really see that there, but it's like embossed.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And if you stick this under a light for like a minute and then turn off the lights, this does glow in the dark. And this was like $10. It's just like I was psyched. I was, a friend of mine was a little tight on cash at the time. I made sure to buy him a copy because I was like, I know, there's no way if this is coming out that I'm going to copy for myself and I'm not getting one for my boy. It was a cause for celebration, really. The reason why this came out on DVD was because of a crowdfunding campaign, or I should say, not a crowdfunding campaign, a fan-driven campaign. Where like people were signing petitions and everything like that, and it's specifically because of one super fan that this eventually came out on DVD, because it's owned by MGM. And they generally, a little movie like this, it's just like, well, shit, we're releasing Ocean's 11. Why would we bother? The money we make from a little piece of shit like this is just like pocket change in comparison. So why even
peanuts?
Bother? Yeah. But now you got companies like Arrow Video that are releasing like super editions. There's a new Blu-ray edition that I don't have that has the work print, which runs 24 minutes longer.
I think I have that one.
Do you?
I think so. I have the Blu-ray, but I don't know if it's the newer one. But I got it like a few years ago.
See if it has the work print on there, because the work print's really interesting. Work print picture isn't great. It looks like VHS quality because the work print is the version that is in the editing suite, right? When the filmmakers are putting the movie together and they're putting in the the post-production, the music and all that stuff. And it ran 24 minutes longer than this.
Oh,
and maybe one of these days we'll get like a really cherry 4K version of that. Oh. And look, man, I've got a 4K. There's a 4K version of New York Ripper. There's a 4K version of Burial Ground. Anything can happen.
Oh yeah,
anything can happen.
This one will come out. This thing's so big, dude. Definitely my favorite, I love this scene too, right here with all the different things coming to life, that yellow. It was so fucking, because it was in from the embalming.
I have to admit, they should invest more money into refurnishing those movies and making 4Ks and adding things, and stop making stupid, shitty woke remake.
Thank you. But you know how normies are. Most of them, they won't even watch an old movie.
No, if it's not about them, they don't see themselves in the story.
Exactly.
It's not good. Okay.
Okay, because we're gonna have to
Okay.
ban this because it's problematic and stuff, and cultural appropriation, and okay, motherfuckers.
That guy is too assertive and too violent. I am offended.
Yeah, lots of fucking microaggressions going
I don't like how they treat the zombies. The zombies did nothing. They're just being themselves, and they're being killed.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
You wouldn't do that to a meat eater. Why would you do that to a zombie?
Right. Oh, really
a veggie zombie
realistic piece of trivia is that the actors in this, there's a scene where the actors are eating calf brains, and Dan O'Bannon was like, I wouldn't ask these people to do anything I wouldn't do myself, so he like ate some raw calf brains.
Oh, fuck that.
Oh,
imagine the smell
that's,
too.
That's a soldier right there.
Oh, soldier on.
You know, in most countries, brain is a delicacy.
Yes, in France, and in China too. I remember Anthony Bourdain, he said he didn't like the way that they were served, they were prepared the French style, but he liked the way that they prepared them in China, in Szechuan.
Monkey brains. And I think that it's also a thing in Africa.
Oh,
Indiana Jones. What, you were not eating?
Oh yeah, that was total bullshit. Oh man, that was talking about cultural insensitivity. They were just making shit up.
That fucking movie.
But yeah, this was to me the moment. Let me ask you a question, kid.
Ask you a question, kid.
So right. You've seen the movie.
You seen that movie?
Night of the Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead.
That's when the corpses start eating the people, right? That's about zombies taking over the world. And he explains that this is like that actually happened, and that that the military, like the Pentagon, told Romero, he's never mentioned by name, but they're like, the guy, they told the guy who made the movie that if he told the true story, they just sue his ass off. And it's, oh God,
it's supposed to be a documentary. Into that movie.
It's like the true story. So he shows them the what's going to be the tar man, and
he's fucking awesome. It's my favorite part of the movie.
Yes,
the tar man.
Yes.
Where does this take place at? This movie?
I don't.
You know what's weird for me? It straight up looks like my town in like North Long Beach. Like there's a fucking funeral home that looks like that and everything, like a Forest Lawn March. But it looks like Long Beach and North Long Beach and like Bellflower. Like it looks like that part of California. It's fucking weird. Like because so when I was watching the movie, it felt kind of real to me. You know what I mean? Like it could happen.
Yeah.
And I have a mortuary. Like there's another one around the corner. Like there's a lot of them. You know.
Okay.
And
you want the answer?
What's that?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Although the movie is set in Louisville, Kentucky, it was filmed in Burbank, Sylmar, and downtown Los Angeles in California. The Tarman zombie is performed by actor puppeteer Alan Troutman.
So it's all around where I live, kind of.
Yeah.
So they might have filmed it around here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt that this was this was made in L.A. Dan O'Bannon.
I know Google foo.
Yeah, you do. And of course, IMDb is great. Now, can you read the eye chart? Because it's one of the funny, like, hidden jokes in this movie.
The eye chart? Yep.
Yeah. What's it say?
Be your.
It says Bert is a slave driver and a cheap son of a bitch who's going bald too. Ha ha.
Oh man.
Oh man, yeah. No, if you've watched this movie as many times as I have, you start to notice shit like that. And of course, we've got Linnea Quigley. I got to share this story about the legendary tomb dance that she does, right? And I had to take these screenshots very carefully. Yeah. so what happened was Linnea Quigley, always a wait, why is that not showing? Oh, there we go. Okay. Linnea Quigley, never shy about taking her clothes off. She was a real trooper when she made this, but she said it was a miserable experience. It started with they were shooting this scene, and the producer runs up. He's like, "Stop! Stop! Stop!" And O'Bannon's like, "What?" And the producer's like, "You can see her bush. We can't show bush. Like, we want an R rating on this thing. What are you doing, right?" So he asks her to shave. So being a soldier, she goes off and she shaves her hey nanny nanny. And she comes back and they resume shooting the scene. And the producer's like, "Stop, stop, stop." Like, what? It's like, you can see everything now. You can see her vulva. You can see her labia minora, for crying out loud, right? So they had to then go and make this kind of G-string contraption that like fit over her lady bits. that's how they shot the scene. But you can imagine the kind of
brutal for her.
Producers like that.
Yeah.
You know,
like why would you want something else than an R rating for this type of fucking movie, anyways?
Well, I don't think he was worried about an R rating. He wanted an R rating. He was afraid that we're going to get,
NC-17
or X, because the NC-17 didn't exist yet.
Oh.
And
Romero, but we had lots of movies where we used to see, like back then, like it was a thing. Like girls were not wearing bras. Remember, you could pretty much see their nipples through their shirt for a long time. And the same thing with the bush. Like they weren't really like.
Right.
That's what I think. It's weird that especially back then, like, dude, it was like you often had a freaking movie that was family oriented. The woman was walking around with a freaking nightgown. You'd see everything through it. Nobody gave a fuck.
Well, Americans give a fuck.
Okay.
Europeans don't give a fuck.
Canadians neither, I guess.
Canadians neither, right? Because Americans are just uptight as fuck.
You guys are prudes.
Yeah, no, we are. We are. It's something that that as a culture we're very, very messed up about. And then
violence is fine, but tits is
violence is fine, but yeah, exactly. Violence good. The human body horrible. Yeah, and sex. So, when movies like this were made, they generally made different prints. There'd be an American cut, which would be the most censored. There'd be the British version, which would have maybe a little bit more nudity but less violence. And then the American version would have less nudity and more violence.
And the Canadian version would just have everything.
Version would have way more nudity, less violence, and the Japanese version would have everything. That's generally how that works.
The Japanese versions of like metal, they always give them more like CDs too, or more songs on them too. It's crazy, and they charge
here they have more issues with the violence and gore than anything else. That's why most of the thing, especially here in Quebec, most of the comics and everything they do is slice of life shit.
Right. Right. Oh God.
Yeah.
Which is fine. You can have that, but does everything have to be like that? That's
okay.
Sad.
And I will say that. Damn, she has a fine ass.
I know. You know what?
And those legs. Damn.
I know. I'm feeling punk rock tonight, so I'm like, fuck you, YouTube. I'm showing that booty.
That reminds me. It's a nice ass. It's really, really nice.
But, right? It's like nice little peachy butt cheeks. What's wrong with that? Why does that freak people out, right?
I know.
And yeah, because there were some movies I've seen her in where she looks a little too skinny. And
I like the fact that she has calves too. Like she's not like a chicken leg chick.
Yes.
She actually looks like somebody that's does aerobics and gyms or gymnastics and stuff.
Yes, and in fact, Linnea Quigley did release the Linnea Quigley horror workout tape.
There you go. I just guessed it, and I was on point.
You were on point. All right. Now, one of the things I gotta address is
that guy's fucking awesome.
Don Calfa's character Ernie in this, right? A lot of people don't pick up on this. Oh yeah, he's great, and a lot of people miss this, right? But the music that he's listening to, they're like Nazi war songs.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh.
The pistol that he pulls.
It's a German gun. Yeah.
It's a German gun. It's a
Ruger
Walther
Ruger.
P38. It's a Walther.
Walter.
Yeah, and wait, let's see. Yeah, there it is. See with the pearl handle and everything. That's a Nazi gun.
It's got a little
Mhm.
this little like gun holster. Yeah.
Yeah. Ernie is a Nazi war criminal.
Yeah.
A lot of people miss that, right? Or we don't know that he's necessarily a war criminal, but he's definitely like a former Nazi.
Like,
At
and
least
it's
the-
obvious that he learned his craft doing something else. Like,
Yes.
like he knows more.
He
than
knows his
just
way
being
around a
mortician.
crematorium.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. A lot of people miss that in this movie. and of course,
He knows
Don
how to get rid
Crawford-
of bodies. He knows a lot more than just
Yes, yeah.
that guy did experiments on people, and it's pretty goddamn obvious.
Hey Brian, you seen the Feast movies with that guy in it?
Oh, with Clu Gulager?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
They're kind of weird.
Yeah, it didn't. They just seemed kind of generic to
Yeah.
me. I don't know if they're. Would you say that they're worth watching?
I've seen like they're kind of. It was a while ago. I seen them like 10 years ago. My buddy was really into them, and it was like it's like his whole family does them, I guess. Like or his kid, like the main director and shit, and he just stars in them.
Yeah, Project Greenlight actually, which was real bullshit because the whole idea of Project Greenlight was that you have to be somebody that has no connections to Hollywood. And who did they give this job to for directing that movie? Clu Gulager's son. Not that Clu Gulager is like a big star or anything, but he's certainly a cult figure given all the horror movies that he's been in, and that's still some connection. So there was some, a lot of people called bullshit on that. Oh, and my favorite line in this: "You mean the movie lied?" Oh, fantastic, man! And then of course, the guy who plays Freddy, Tom Matthews, he went on to star in Friday the 13th, Part 6.
Is he like is he Matthew McConaughey's young older brother or something? They kind of look the same.
Ish, yeah, maybe
Right?
a little, maybe a
Like
little.
they could be cousins or something. Like we were going on. I'm like, dude, they could do a remake and take Matthew McConaughey, and you wouldn't even notice.
Right? Could be a stunt double.
Yeah,
This is a fucking costume. This is a way of life.
That's a singer Pantera right there, dude.
it is.
No, it's not.
Okay,
Listen
I was
to-
like,
listen to-
okay.
From that angle.
Oh, and speaking of
I thought you look more like the Slipknot singer.
right, the Corey Taylor, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's great. Well, like, what do you got in the bags? Rabid weasels.
We got in the bag, see?
Oh yeah, that scene with the arm.
The Simpsons arm.
Yeah, right.
The first appearance of a Simpson.
That yellow bastard.
Evidently, what they had in these bags were like those little wind-up monkeys. The ones with the symbols that go ping, 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 ping,
That's
ping.
funny.
But they removed the symbols because they didn't want that sound. But that's what made it look like something was like moving around in the bags.
Yeah, later it was those little bugs that you keep seeing everywhere. Remember in The Fifth Element, they used that for those little bugs. It was like those little balls that jumped, and everybody was using that to make everything move in movies.
Yeah.
I just don't remember what's the name of the toy, but yeah,
Right.
Jitterbugs, I think there wasn't it?
Oh, I forget. I forget. But Jesus, man, this is your worst zombie scenario possible, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
because
chop them
it's
up into
very
pieces.
Lovecraftian. To me, it's very Lovecraftian because
It is.
there's no good ending to this. And
No.
that's the thing that I like about that zombie type. Where,
Yes.
dude, they that arm is off. Yeah, it's still gonna try and kill you.
Yeah.
Yes. And worst of all, they can think.
Yeah.
And they can talk.
Zombies that can think, you're
They can
fucked.
run. They're fucking fast.
They can run. They can use fucking tactics.
I think this
Right?
is like the
Yes,
proto
when
Resident
they set
Evil
the trap
too.
to the paramedics.
You know what I mean?
That was
Yes.
awesome.
Yes, exactly. They're fucking waiting in the fucking bushes and shit.
There's a dead
Right.
body there waiting for them. And
Right.
yeah,
This
It's
is like
not like they're gonna come lumbering at you like the Romero zombies,
that's why I like the last movie that they did. What was it?
Land of the Dead.
Land of the Dead, was it? Yeah, City of the Dead or Land of the Dead. One of the
Land of the Dead was the
Land of the
last
Dead, yeah.
Romero. Yeah,
when they
that's my
try when
favorite.
when he went that route too, and he's like, okay, after a while, like they kind of go back to old behavior, habits and stuff. So
Right.
like trying to gas car, but they're gassing on the side.
Yep.
It's not they can't align it properly. Like that type of stuff. I thought that was fucking awesome.
It's
Yeah.
like a Carpenter movie. That's why I liked it too.
It's yeah, I mean, because I know a lot of people were like the Big Daddy zombie. They were like he's too emotional. I'm just like Bub was like sobbing
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
in Day of the Dead. It's
Yeah.
like you don't know what you're talking about. It was a progression. It was something
Yeah.
that was established in Dawn of the Dead, right? Why do they come here? This is a place that made them happy
Mm.
when they were
Yeah,
alive.
and then they notice that there's always one type of leader of the pack.
Right.
Yep.
That
And Wrightson designed
sometimes they divide in packs because of that. Because one is more of a take charge.
Alpha.
Yeah.
Right.
Bernie Wrightson designed a lot of the zombies in that movie too.
Yeah, I mean, Land of the Dead was a disappointment in a lot of respects. I don't think it's a terrible movie. It's not up to snuff with the rest of the series. The soundtrack is completely fucking forgettable. And that is a sin to me because John Carpenter volunteered to do the soundtrack. He was like, I'll do it. Nah, they weren't interested because that's the thing. When you take the man's money, you make the movie for the man. And that's the thing about Romero. Romero's mostly, when he made Night of the Living Dead, when he made Dawn, when he made Day, those are all independent movies. Land was a corporate movie. And he went into it like knowing that, understanding that, those limitations. It's just, I think the script to that, you've got all these characters that get together and then they really go nowhere.
Yeah. No, I could have been better.
Yeah.
The unrated one's a little better, but not much.
Yeah, it has a little extra gore.
The only one that has a good technically story is the
Mhm.
asshole of the entire thing.
Yeah. Vince Hopper.
Linguizamo. No,
Yes.
Linguizamo.
Oh, yeah.
And
He was my
it's connected to Hopper, but that's
Yes.
what I'm saying. Like,
He's
And
my
then
favorite.
it's
he's technically the big asshole of the fucking thing.
I just like the concepts in there. It reminds me of
But
like Escape from New York,
I like his death, like the way he goes, like it's like
Yeah.
the walk to the sun, like I know I'm about to die, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna go do what I gotta do and finish what I started and then die.
Yeah, man.
Dude,
It
that
felt
part,
like
that's what I'm saying.
Ghost
Like,
of Mars,
they
too.
take that character you don't like and they turn him into somebody because that was a nice character growth, but no other had it. That he
Right,
goes,
because that
"Look, I
character is the
fucked
only one
up.
that has an
I
arc.
fucked up. The
Yeah.
only way I can make this up is by doing this." Then
Yes.
he gets, and boom, boom,
He
boom.
turns against the man. He
Yeah.
bites
Yeah.
the hand that feeds him.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because the whole time he's thinking that he kisses ass and he doesn't care if he gets other people killed doing it. As long
Yeah.
as he kisses ass, he's going to be able to move into Fiddler's Green.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
the thing is that he doesn't understand this. And this is the case about the ruling class, at least in
Yeah.
America, is that club is closed.
Yeah.
It's a club and you ain't in it. And they're
Yeah.
not going to let you in it. It's like when I've been to like art galleries or places like that, or if I take my girlfriend to like
I
a
hung out with
Shakespeare festival, there's fucking rich motherfuckers, and they're all looking at you like you're trying to pass.
Yeah, I had the chance to hang out with big movie and investors.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fucked up.
Yeah, and the thing also about, I mean, you can even be friends with ruling class people, but
Yeah.
that friendship only goes so far.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
And sometimes you'll hear really fucked up shit.
Yeah, I love that movie, dude. That one in the Savini one, and then Dawn, and then Day after that. And
Yeah, I mean, and
everybody likes different ones, but this one
Yes.
tops it all. And this
Yeah,
is a
like-
precursor. This is Resident Evil, dude. This is
I
fucking.
like
Raccoon
the
City.
remake of Night of the Living Dead because it kind of put it to the level of this one.
Yeah,
Sorry, like in a way to me, like it's kind of like the other one was a classic Romero. The
Yeah.
other one, the remake, put it to this level that it could fit together. Like now it actually fits to be. Remember that movie? So it's like the remake. We didn't see the movie. We saw what actually happened. You know what I mean?
Right.
It
Yeah.
kind of gives you that
Yeah,
feel.
yeah, it's not a Living Dead,
then-
the true story.
And then
Yep.
the remake of Dawn of the Dead was like trying to make a version of Dawn of the Dead that would fit with this as well. That's how I kind of saw it as a fan. Because at first, when I saw Dawn of the Dead, I'm like, no, they shouldn't run. Then the way they explained that they were going the viral, toxic, and like mutant one, and I'm like, oh, that's Return of the Living Dead. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious.
James Gunn wrote the screenplay for the Dawn of the Dead remake, and I remember I was approaching the Dawn of the Dead remake the same way I was approaching this one, with great suspicion, right?
Yeah,
And
the baby
but
thing was
hopeful.
stupid.
Right, and you're just so, if you're a fan, you're so used to being disappointed, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
But if you're a fan, you're used to being disappointed. And I remember reading an interview with James Gunn, and he said, well, basically, when he was writing the Dawn of the Dead remake script, he was using as his model the Philip Kaufman remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. And that's when I was like, okay, I'll give this a chance. Because the Philip Kaufman remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers is fucking amazing and scary as hell. And that rare example of a remake that's better than the original, I think. And so the Dawn of the Dead remake, I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
It was aight. Frankie knows in the in the chat. Sorry, man, I didn't mean to like neglect you or anything like that. After the Bushy Tushy story,
fix that now.
You've only seen this once. What the hell?
Fix that now.
People have never seen this. You've only seen this once.
This is like the go-to zombie movie if you ever want to watch a good scary zombie movie with some popcorn, have some fun.
Oh, it's so much freaking fun.
But I was saying though, man, this I think Resident Evil took a lot from this movie. Like just like the whole like concept of having all these different zombies and the government.
Oh yeah, dude, it's totally it. Like, and not just that, is how he got the job, right? Because they were refusing his zombie book because it's a zombie book. They didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
And he goes, you know what? There's something very different in my book. It's
right.
As the story goes along, there's going to be hints and Easter eggs about aliens and stuff like that will lead to the fact that you'll figure out that it's technically an alien virus attack that the alien unleashed on our planet. And that's how you got Valentino to sign up to it. And then eventually, like after a year or something, he goes, dude, where's the alien shit you were talking? I just fucked with you.
I lied. I lied. Remember to kill you last?
I lied.
Right. And bait and switch, and a very effective one that made Robert Kirkman a very rich man, and I hope the guy that's going to buy DC Comics. He could single-handedly rescue the American comic book industry. We'll see. If he does that, he's a gangster. But you don't want to get your hopes up too much. Oh yeah, and then my favorite zombie after the Tarman, of course, is the dwarf zombie, because Don Calfa just fucking lays into him, just fucking empties the 9 milli into him, and he just fucking pops back up. He rolls, and he's like running after him.
You straight animated that shit.
Yeah, and
like, boop, boop.
And folks, the reason why we can't show you any video clips is because YouTube is fucked up, and the algorithm will automatically take us off the air if I even show you the trailer. Which is stupid because the trailer, of course, is a commercial for the movie. But what I can do is frame by frame.
That's one of the scariest frames right there. This part right here. And when he falls, the dwarf.
Yeah, when he slips in the mud.
Oh, scary.
My God. But it's also funny as hell. And
it makes it more realistic that there's imperfection in the stuff. Like, that's one of the things, like, I was checking, like, a while back, like, I always love to watch like the making of movies, since I've been a kid, right?
Me too.
And one of the things is like they always say like we take multiple shots, and sometimes we don't even take the perfect shot. We take one of the screwed up shot because it just seems more realistic.
Yep.
Like sometimes like the actor's gonna forget his line. He did a face, but the face he did while he was thinking of that line kind of makes it look like something else. Like,
that's when if like I don't want to call myself a filmmaker, but I have dabbled. I used to make short films when I was younger, and one of the things that I would always tell the actors is, if you fuck up a line, keep going, because that's when you get magic.
Keep going until the director says cut, because that can maybe be one of the best freaking shots there is, but try and go with it. Yeah.
Right. That's when you get magic. And that's one of the reasons why in modern mainstream Hollywood filmmaking, you never get magic. Right. I watched like the new Resident Evil the other day. I don't know why I did that to myself. It gave me a fucking headache.
Yeah,
all those quick cuts and everything. Oh my God.
There's also the fact that you got no actors anymore. They're all models. I'm sorry, it's not actors anymore. They're all freaking models that read lines, and that's it. There's no more acting. There's no emotion. There's no thinking. There's no inner monologue in their head trying to pretend that they're the character. You don't even see the eye movement or nothing. There's nothing. Like, an actor learns those things.
There's no heart. That's the thing. There's no heart. Now, actors who are artists are rare, right? You don't get them very often. I watched The Lighthouse last night. Not a great movie, but a good one. We're seeing, I would say, although I think it was a little disappointing. But Willem Dafoe, oh my God, he absolutely immerses himself in that character.
Oh, he's the shit, dude. He's like one of the last gems left, Him and Oldman and a couple others.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Gary Oldman, dude, that guy, dude. Did you guys see that? I every time we mention that guy, I always remember that spot that he did about like talking to athletes stopping being actors. Did you ever see that one?
Yeah. Or what?
Where he's on the basketball court. It's Gary Oldman, and he's talking to the people, and he's like, "Please stop trying to be actors." Then, dude, he goes all out like furious, and then see, this is acting.
Right.
He shows method acting right there, like furious, like turns red, and then you see his skin turn full pale white again. Like, this is acting. And I'm like,
I'll watch anything with him in it.
Babe. That's it. That's what makes you an actor.
Right. It's like I remember when Rowdy Roddy Piper was on Politically Incorrect, which was this political like roundtable show.
Yeah, by Maher.
Back in the day, with fucking Bill Maher.
Bill Maher.
Shit.
Sorry.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Anyway, talk about TDS to the extreme, right? But anyway, he's just like, I think like wrestling, it's fake, and right? And Piper rips into him and starts screaming at him, and it's just like, because like Owen Hart had recently died.
Yeah.
And he was just like Owen Hart, he fell to his death, and you're calling this fake, et cetera, et cetera. And Bill Maher was like, oh, right? And so then they cut to commercial, and they came back, and Bill Maher was like, look, I didn't mean to disrespect anybody. And Roddy Piper was like, yeah, I know. And then Maher went, now I don't know what to believe. Mm-hmm. And Piper said, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I don't know what to believe.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is, an actor is supposed to be able to forget itself and fit into the character that they're supposed to portray.
Right.
Not turn every character into themselves. And, look how pretty I am. I'm posing. I'm just posing here. Step right, step left. How I'm pretty, right? Dude, that's not what it's supposed to. Like, look at freaking Michelle Pfeiffer in freaking Batman and Batman Return.
Right.
Like, you're talking about a drop dead gorgeous babe that you've seen all the time, an old drop dead gorgeous thing, and she looks like a depressed thing.
She's the best character.
She inhabited
into role. Yeah. She was depressive. Right. She was this. She was timid and everything. And she's unhinged. And it's not her. And you're like, yeah. Same thing with Sigourney Weaver before.
Right.
I said before.
It's this, yeah. That's the thing I don't understand about people that like do self-inserts, right? And we have some of our fellow comic creators who do self-inserts. Yep. I don't write comics to put myself in there. I write comics to get away from myself.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right?
But I think like you're supposed to be supposed to be putting part of your life, inspiration from your life, characters or something like that you know and experience.
Sure.
Don't
You're gonna
put
go in
yourself
there,
in.
like,
Don't put yourself in there.
organically, no
Yeah,
matter what.
and right, and there's
Like
gonna be
there's a character in Tales of the Nevers that I have maybe 3, 4 friends. I go, dude, that reminds me of me. I go, yeah. It's an amalgam of like experience of moments. Like Nat and Zed have moments that me and Dave have, but they're not us. You know what I mean?
right,
Because you inspire from real life.
right.
You don't
And-
make it real life.
Right. And also, like bits and pieces of you are going to appear in your characters, but there'll be certain aspects of you,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not the whole person. You know, it's just like this person might represent like my rage. This person might represent kind of my
Well, yeah,
sorrow.
The character is supposed to be alive in your head enough that it's
Right.
not, how am I going to react to this? How would I react to this? No, it's how
No.
would he react to it?
And that's when the characters come alive on the page. And for me, that always takes time. I have to be like on page 40 usually before that starts to happen, before the characters just start to speak for themselves.
You know, it's like not if you piss off Nat might shoot you in the face in 5 seconds. I might think a bit longer.
Yeah. Right.
Easy
Oh
to
man.
separate his emotions. What I like about this right here is this is probably one of the most important scenes. Not the most, but this character right here.
It is.
It gives you the internal psyche of a zombie, and you can feel that fucking shit.
I mean,
Right.
You know what I mean? And it looks, and then two, and then
It's
visually, it's a fucking creative thing. You
But
haven't seen that, so it's two different things. You know?
Yeah, I
And
love
three,
it. It shows you the zombie
practical
side
effects.
of the thing, right? Like
Right.
I'm in
What do you
pain.
want?
Yeah.
Right? Like you need brain. Like what do you want? Like no, not people. What do we people? Not people. Brains. And the way that this animatronic is brought to life by William Stout, the effects artist, is absolutely fantastic. For instance, you know, when she says the pain, like you see her stretching her neck, right?
Yeah,
And look at the eyes, the way the eyes are looking at him,
yeah,
right?
it's good stuff, man.
Feel myself rot.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, yeah, and genuinely fucking like scary.
it's a good
Right?
performance too. It's a really good
Oh.
performance for a puppet and the voice actor. It's believable, you know. And I saw this kind of young. I don't remember when, but I was just like, "Man, it's fucking scary and sad." And damn it, look
Right.
yeah, dude, this movie just like so many fucking levels and so many different things. Like,
Right.
I'm surprised they didn't. I mean, this is one movie where like, you know, I'm always like the big remake guy. I'm down with
Yeah.
that shit type shit. This
Yeah.
one, I would not want to see that. But there's a lot of fucking things going on in this movie where you can, or even make a continuation. Like you could do a Tarman fucking thing and this and that and prequels or sequels or what the fuck. But this movie is a real gem where you just gotta kind of would always leave it alone, and people should celebrate this shit, man.
Absolutely. And that's what makes me really happy about seeing how much love this movie gets. And boy, you know, I mentioned before, like 20 years ago is actually, wow, was it? Wow, no, like 22 years ago. This came out, and it was like a big deal for horror fans. And now you've got, you know, Arrow Video. I think Severin may have put out a version. There's this thing now where Blu-ray has made the like in the beginning, DVD was like Laserdisc. It was a collector's medium, and then eventually that stopped. And now Blu-ray has come along, and now that's a collector's medium, because you know at a certain time with these discs, like this has a bunch of extras and stuff, and director's commentary. It has an introduction by Dan O'Bannon, all that stuff. After a while, the discs would come out, and it would be like this. It would be like the movie and maybe the trailer, and like nothing else. Now these Blu-rays are coming out, and they're stacked. Like, yeah, they've got making of specials, they've got interviews, they've got audio commentaries. I think that I'm not sure which version it is that has the work print. I think it might be this one, or it might be this one.
Oh, I've never seen that one.
Yeah, isn't that great cover art right there?
Yeah,
Look at that.
That's pretty sweet.
I gotta get some shirts. I almost got a Starman
Oh
shirt.
yeah, mute it because there's a lot of noise.
They had a
Yeah.
Tarman shirt, man, with like he looked kind of like Superman or like Captain America or something like that. Where it was a comic book. I think it was Fright Rags or something, but it sold out quick. I wanted to get it.
Oh, Fright Rags is the shit, and their shirts are
Yeah.
good too. Like
Yeah.
they're 100% cotton, and like none
Yeah.
of this polyester 50/50 bullshit. Yeah, I recommend all of their stuff. Let me see. Are there any other? Oh, I think this is the German poster. No, wait. I think that's that's another French one. There we go. Yeah, that's the German one right there. Can't say I'm really crazy about it.
Yeah,
You know?
I don't like it that much. It's like it looks like
Yeah.
like a cheap National Lampoon ripoff.
Looks like a different
Yeah.
movie, kind of.
Right, and it's selling it just as a
That's proof.
comedy.
Yeah.
Right. Cette-fois, il te. I'm sorry. Can you translate this for me? Seth?
Technically, it's cette fois il trespasse les bornes. So technically, it's making a word game on this time. They're going over they're going over the line. So what they're trying to say is they're trespassing over the line.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank
Because
you.
they're dead. Yeah.
Right.
It's
And-
hard to translate word games in English, but trying to make you
Of
understand
course.
the sense of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And this was like a fan painting. You can see the artist's hands there, for instance. I'm thinking Preston would love this.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I love it. It's pretty goddamn sweet.
Yeah.
Isn't that great? And that's, one of the reasons also you find a lot of fan art and T-shirts and stuff like that is because this movie has such a enduring cult following.
There's so much you
And-
could do with it, with the characters and stuff. Like fun. Like it's got the punk angle. It's got all these cool characters in it.
Well, I remember, one of the it was 1985,
And
right?
like I said, it's like it's straight out of heavy metal.
Yes, it is. It is in many respects, isn't it?
Yeah, like it has that feel, like
It
of
does.
reading a heavy metal magazine, like that greedy feel that you would have from a Metallica or, borderline 2000 AD. Like it has that greedy feel that you don't
Yes.
know that things are not always gonna end up well.
It's 80s in a really good way. It's
Yeah.
the flip side. It's the flip side of the lame side of the 80s, right? On the lame
Yeah.
side, you had 16 Candles and John Hughes. Was that his name?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, the Breakfast Club and all that
Yeah.
bullshit, right? You had that on the one side, which was whack, and then you had the flip side, and
You know
the flip
what's-
side was punk rock, and it was stuff like this.
You know what I was thinking too? Like I was walking to pick the kid up today, and I was thinking of this movie, and I was like, I want to say something, but I think I might be out of line. But it's probably one of the best '80s movies ever made,
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it
or
is.
maybe the best '80s movie. Like what the fuck? That's sacrilege. There's so many good '80s movies, but it's like maybe
Well,
horror
I
movie.
would say the best 80s horror movie.
Like it really captures
opinion.
like just the '80s, like a good '80s fucking movie that's
Right.
like badass.
It's
You know what I mean?
exactly.
For like horror, I guess.
I think what you're trying to say, if I'm correct, is that this works as a time capsule movie.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
time capsule movie. Perfect. Like it captures like the '80s feel of like the youth and a perfect fucking horror movie of the
Well,
'80s.
I know as a punk, like me and my friends, like we had never. The only time we'd ever seen ourselves represented on the screen was on like episodes of like Quincy, which were basically like
See.
they portrayed punks the way that Dragnet portrayed hippies, right?
Right.
Like totally inaccurate.
Yeah.
And-
the fucking like Satanists like taking the pills and shit. Like,
Right,
all
right.
fucking-
Reefer madness kind of shit, right?
Yeah.
And O'Bannon was asked in the Fangoria article, I remember reading it, like why did you put like punks in this? And he said, those kids are just so misunderstood, right? And there's that He-Man meme that I love to pieces where he's like kids, hippies are bad people that are pretending to be good people. Punks are good people pretending to be bad.
Yeah.
It's kind of true.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh yeah, and then we got to talk also about the music. It's got 45 Grave, it's got the Cramps, it's got
Yeah.
my man Rocky Erickson. Burn the Flames. higher, 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 and higher.
I'm definitely gonna be watching that tonight, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I watched it again last night with a friend of mine who had never seen it before,
Really?
and that's always fun. If we find out that somebody that a friend hasn't seen something, and then you're just like, oh, like I can't wait to show this to you.
I think I'm gonna make the kids watch it this weekend. And for everybody's information, when I say kids, my kids, the youngest one is 13. So
Right. Oh yeah. This is appropriate for like a 13-year-old.
like FYI, before.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that when it comes to horror movies, it's like age-appropriate sex education, right?
Mhm.
Like, just you start them off letting them know the difference between boys and girls. You don't go right into Blumpkins
Yeah.
and orgies and fetishes and shit like that, right?
Mhm.
Right. So you don't start them out with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You don't.
Right.
You don't start them off with like
But
Cannibal.
that's why most of the old horror movies was always like young couples flirting,
Yeah.
parties and stuff like that. It was
Yeah.
always the biggest premise, and that's what made the magic of Friday the 13th, which was technically a college project. That was like a bunch of students in movies decided to make a slasher movie, and it was technically just, like you come up with puns, jokes on how to kill thing, and then you make it work as a story. And I'm sorry, that's what made Friday the 13th.
Right.
That's why there's nothing to be compared to Jason. Like Jason is just a freaking monolith, right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's just there to kill, to do the kill that you can come up with that can make the people laugh or go, "What the fuck?"
Straight
Right.
popcorn. Yeah.
Yeah, it's straight popcorn. Like this.
It's a ride
Right.
and a laugh. Like,
Right. They're you're there to watch him whack people.
yeah. That's why I like
Well,
Freddy
there-
versus Jason so much, man. That shit.
Well, that was a lot better than I thought it would be. Ronnie Yu was the director.
Yeah.
I was a
Hong
big fan
Kong.
of his Hong Kong movies. The Bride with White Hair is one of my favorite movies.
I don't know that. I should probably check
Oh,
that.
Yeah, I gotta check out his movies, man. I fucking love
it's
Freddy
so
versus
good.
Jason.
Is that on YouTube?
If
I don't know. It might be.
I got it, but it's
Um,
like, we can't
it's-
touch it.
But I mean, like his thing was kind of like epic, sweeping fantasy romance, right?
Mm.
With like, kung fu and magic and stuff like that. And there were wuxias. Wuxia is the name of the genre, right? Which is basically like swords and sorcery, and like there's always some kind of like a tragic love story,
Mm,
and
mm.
there's always something very sentimental.
Or Romeo and Juliet.
Well, it's just they're Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
I was thinking that.
Yeah, that's an American version of a wuxia, and it's a very good one. But yeah, if you
Very
if
good.
you find Bride with White Hair, definitely check that out. That's a wonderful movie. And Frankie mentions Vinegar Syndrome. Yes, they do restoration films for horror and cult films and do an excellent job. They do. The reason Vinegar Syndrome are called Vinegar Syndrome is because celluloid, when it starts to rot, develops a smell to it that's basically smells like vinegar.
Oh,
And they're taking oh my god, I've got a bunch of their Blu-rays. In fact, I've got some of their smut too. They put out they take like old like skin flicks from like the late 1970s and early 80s and do like Blu-ray restorations of those. So that's a bonus too. I mean, especially on the big screen TV. I'm a dirty old pervert. What can I say? But
You're a
Yeah.
horror movie fan.
yeah,
Duh.
yeah.
I'm sorry, but you have to admit
True.
it is one of the tropes of like big horror movie fans. Like,
Yeah, man. Well, good. And oh
and
yeah,
that's a
this
trope meaning not everybody.
right.
It's
No,
just fun.
no, of course not. But there's always exceptions to the rule.
But remember what they used to say, right? If you
What?
don't have tits
Yes.
in a horror movie, it's not a horror movie.
Well, it's certainly not an 80s horror movie.
Yeah,
That's what it
80s
is.
slasher.
Now, this chick on the right here, right? The party girl, I forget the character's name. She was a stripper at this like really exclusive club that Dan O'Bannon had a membership to, right? Because he was like a Hollywood screenwriter and you know, a pretty big one. I'm trying to remember what some of the other stuff he wrote, like Blue Thunder. But anyway, they were like drug buddies or something. And so he wanted to cast her as Trash. And she was just like, man, I'm a stripper. I'm going to have to strip on camera. I do that shit. I do that shit all the time. So he cast her as this party girl. And she's, perfect in the part, I think. The whole cast in this, I think, is really good. And just the whole tone of the thing is just perfect because, you know, it's a high wire act. It's the balance between horror and comedy. It's so difficult to do right. For me, the template was and always shall be Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. Because basically it's a comedy, but the monsters are played straight.
Yeah, they're playing it straight.
And to add to what you were saying, Dan O'Bannon, his first movie out of university, I think it was Dark Star. Then
Yes.
he went to start doing other movies, and the movies he worked on was Alien, Total Recall, Life Force, Blue Thunder. He worked on the Heavy Metal animated series.
Yeah. And speaking of Life Force, originally Toby Hooper was supposed to direct this, and he bailed because he wanted to do Life Force instead. I mean, my goodness, and Life Force at the time was a disappointment, financially, critically. I wasn't really crazy about that. That's a movie that's aged very well. Like, if you haven't seen that recently, check that out. Especially check out like the Blu-ray of that. It's exceptional. But you know, you have the choice between working on like a really big budget horror movie and working on this.
Oh, I would totally work on this. This is like the perfect fucking horror movie.
I'm so glad that he turned it down and did Life Force instead, because I think Life Force is fantastic, and I think this is fantastic. I think that it worked out beautifully.
Right. For the better.
Yeah, and I'm so happy that O'Bannon passed away a few years ago. I'm happy that he was around long enough that he not only saw that this movie gets a lot of love, but also that he warmed up to it.
He gave us some gems, bro. Some 80s gems.
Yeah,
Total Recall. This Alien, fuck around, dude.
Dude, Alien's one of my favorite all-time freaking movies. Like, it's the best sci-fi horror movie ever freaking made. The only thing that came close to maybe reaching it, Event Horizon, because that one freaked the fuck out of me when I watched it.
That's my favorite.
Planet of the Vampires. Have you guys ever seen Planet of the Vampires by?
I did.
No.
If you see that, you're gonna see a lot of where Alien comes from.
Oh fuck!
With the gigantic skeleton, right? The gigantic alien skeleton and all that stuff. Yeah. And it's not about vampires. I don't know why it's called Planet of the Vampires, but it's a Mario Bava movie, and it's super stylish and just like a ton of fun. I love that movie. And that also has some great creepy moments when the dead astronauts are taken over by the ghosts of these aliens, and they come out of their graves, and their burial shrouds are plastic.
Sounds like Ghosts of Mars, dude.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, Ghost of Mars was pretty good. Like, it's one I enjoyed. Like, it's a flop considered, but I really enjoyed the premise of it, the actors, like the feel of it was cool. But it shows that what does the backgrounds, like the budget was not there. I think that's that's the only thing that makes the movie not as good as it should be. Because the concept is good. The concept is good.
Yeah, but
Snake Plissken. That's what's the one other thing.
The thing that was missing there?
Yeah.
Well, no, you know what
instead of
was missing?
Ice Cube.
You know what was missing from Ghosts of Mars? John Carpenter.
Yeah,
Right? I got the
yeah.
feeling watching that movie that this was made by a director who had ceased to give a shit. And for the budget, look at Assault on Precinct 13. That is an amazing movie.
From what I gathered, from what I've heard,
yeah,
it was the first time. It was the first time the studio came in and decided to go. It's not gonna work, guy. So you're gonna need to reshoot this, redo that, and Carpenter. Fuck you.
Yeah. Fuck
So obviously, what happened is they got somebody else to come in and re-edit the movie.
A lot of movies are made or broken in the editing suite. That's for damn sure.
Where they tell the story, huh?
Yeah,
the entire
I mean,
premise was pretty goddamn good, and I was freaking happy.
It was
him doing a horror sci-fi. I was like, dude, you did good sci-fi because come on,
right?
Come on. Escape from LA, Escape from New York. Come on, they're freaking awesome. And then you have the guy that started the freaking slasher shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, he's doing a space horror movie. That's gonna be awesome. And like we're saying, budget and a few other things. Just little tweak things that in it. Like,
Jason Statham. He should have been doing some transporter kicks on them fucking monsters.
You should have been more dominant.
Underused like a motherfucker,
dude. They should have replaced Ice Cube by Statham in the roles, and it would have been way better.
Yeah, totally. It would have been. Yeah.
I mean, 100%. I remember Carpenter going on. It was the Daily Show, and it was Jon Stewart was the host, and he asked him, like, so what's this about? And Carpenter said, Ice Cube on Mars kicking ass.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because that's the thing. He was forced to change the script.
He didn't care.
And that's all it is left, probably, which is,
I just it's one of those movies. I'm like, where's the director? Right? And
where's the vision, right?
And as you noticed, did you ever see him do another movie with a big fucking name like that?
Nope.
No, that was the last one, I think, right?
They won't let him, for one thing. That's why he's just focusing on music right now.
He did the fucking, what was it, The Ward? That was his last movie, was The Ward, right?
Yeah.
Like, substantial. I was kind of like disappointed with that movie.
Yeah.
Go back and rewatch it.
It's a woke movie, trying to plead. It's like him trying to plead to the people to get back into it. Like it really feels like it's him trying to sell out a bit.
Like it just did not feel like.
Well, he didn't write the script, I don't think, right? So, actually, the last good thing that John Carpenter did, the last good film that he made was Cigarette Burns for Masters of Horror. That's very good. That's
I don't know. I really like that Christine video that he did. It was pretty sweet.
That's good. Yeah,
with his daughter. Yeah.
But I'm thinking like in terms of feature films. I think there's part of me that would love to see Carpenter come back. There's a part of me that's like,
dude,
I want him to come back with no restriction from freaking Hollywood. Like, just come back, guy. Just come fucking do a movie, dude. All he needs to do is go, hey, I got that guy. That guy, Kurt Russell. He wants to do another another Snake Plissken, and I'm on Kickstarter. Dude, that guy's gonna break every fucking record on Kickstarter to get that fucking movie done.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna do the soundtrack. I'm gonna do the soundtrack, and I'm gonna play it live while we screen it and fucking wherever the fuck.
We're gonna
do the indie circuit, and I'm gonna play it live on the keyboard.
Oh my god!
While we screen it, you know what I mean? I'll be up there on stage with my fucking DJ booth. Fuck you guys. You know what I mean? Kurt Russell in, have him fucking be Jack Burton or Snake Plissken. I don't give a fuck. Or make have him be fucking Elvis or from The Thing.
Is In the Mouth of Madness on that fucking Tubi thing?
It might be.
That would be the movie I'd like to do. Yeah, I love that movie.
I'm down as fuck with that one.
If it's on a streaming service,
it's another one of my all-time favorite freaking horror movies.
That movie's awesome.
I love it.
It is. I showed it to a millennial friend of mine, and he just thought it was boring.
Somebody's like, "What's the point of it?" I tried watching the beginning. I didn't get it. And I'm like, okay. Let me just put that in a little square right here. Okay. There's a writer writing horror, and shit start happening.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's all you need to fucking know. And
just tell me.
Every time I say this to people, they go, "Okay, I'm watching it." Yeah.
It's fucking Goosebumps with Jack Black, but better. Not for kids. There you go, bud.
Right. And let's see, where is that? More watch options. It's on Amazon Prime.
It's not on Tubi?
For like $3. No, it's not on Tubi. I don't think there's any Carpenter on Tubi.
You're like, hell no, you want Carpenter, you're gonna pay top dollar, motherfucker. You ain't getting no Tubi Carpenters.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It is amazing though the amount of stuff that you can. Oh, The Thing is on there.
On what?
Starman, which is a great movie.
I love Starman.
Starman's
I
good.
love that score.
Fantastic.
Make me fucking
Thing is
cry all
fucking
over
awesome.
the
That's another
Beautiful.
one.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very emotional.
The Thing, In the Mouth of Madness, and Prince of Darkness was his Cornetto trilogy of Lovecraft. That was his
It's
Lovecraftian
Apocalypse
trilogy. Yeah.
as it's called, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, that's what people like to call it. It's the same thing with Lucio Fulci with I think
Shaun of the Dead or Shaun of the Dead, and then you have Hot Fuzz and
right.
This Is the End or The End.
Right.
That's another one that's like three. It's fun when they do that. It's called they call it Cornetto trilogies or something like that.
Cornetto trilogies.
Yeah, the
That's
expression
my
of that is it comes from, I think, Italy. It's the idea of having like three different types of movies, but that have something connected, like a theme.
Gotcha. See,
So
that
yeah,
I cannot-
Shaun of the Dead is like an homage to zombie movies, right? But with a buddy feel in it, but the same actors. Then you have a totally different movie, same actors.
Yes.
The roles have inverted,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And
Fantastic.
then you go to This Is
Hot
the
Fuzz
End.
is hilarious.
It's a free for all,
It is. Right.
and
Um,
that's what I mean by
It's a drinking
that's what
movie.
it was also
Fun
the
one.
thing. And
That I can accept.
Like, I want to
because
get drunk when I watch the third one. Like, I straight up will drink when I watch that. I remember.
I know,
like,
right? You
watching
want
it,
to
like,
drink
I'm
every
gonna
time they go
No, I swear
somewhere.
to God. I think it was 10 years ago when it came out, and I was watching it. I'm like, hey, babe, I'm going to go grab a 40 at the liquor store real quick. I'm going to finish this movie. Because they're going to bars like, through the whole fucking movie. That's what happened. And I was like, it's not as good as the other one, but it's pretty fucking funny. It's got Bilbo in it, and it's pretty funny, you know? And
Yeah,
I
I
love
love
Bill
that
Nye,
part,
you know?
WTF? What the fuck is WTF? What the fuck?
Yeah, my favorite's Hot Fuzz, though, dude.
Look at
My favorite's Hot Fuzz. That shit's hilarious.
Yeah, they're all good.
Just seeing him, well, I mean, just seeing him like trying to be full action mode, like him and Frost. You know what I mean? Like just like because they're not action mode, dude. So it's just even funnier, you know. And they're falling over fences and shit, and the whole like Timothy Dalton's in there, and he's got the little
Yes.
like
yeah, he's
he's got
fantastic.
that little secret,
Chris Brosnan.
Yeah, and the whole like Wicker Man angle.
yeah, that's
right.
Yeah, when that fucking like what was it, that tombstone or that fucking
That
gargoyle falls
gargoyle.
on that dude's head? That was
That
my favorite. That was the
gargoyle
funniest
falls,
part. Shit was
Yeah, I
hilarious.
remember
dude.
seeing that in its theatrical releases, just really enjoying it. And the Point Break moment, he's like shooting the gun in the air.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That was funny. At the end of the
Frustration.
movie.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's those movies are definitely
I thought the wink at the end of This Is the End when
Mhm.
people are all blanks. There's no more people; they're all blanks.
right.
Come on,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna explain to people. Just leave it there.
right. No, it's one of the it's sublime.
Uh-huh.
Is what that is. It's take from it what
And I
what
was
you
so
will.
disappointed
No
that-
interpretation.
Yeah. No, we didn't get the other movies that he was working on.
What were they working on more stuff, because they're all still around.
No, I'm talking about the director. He was working
Carpenter?
on he was supposed to be directing a big Marvel movie, then he got moved away.
Oh, that's right. Wasn't he doing Doctor
Oh,
Strange? At one
Yes,
point?
doing
he was
Ant-Man.
supposed to be doing Doctor Strange or
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
He was doing Ant-Man for 10
It's
years, and then they took him off.
Right.
Straight
And
up.
Yeah, which the whole idea that the Marvel movies are based on is take like these really good indie directors and give them a big
Yes.
budget. And I think maybe there are some people that can work within that system, and I think there's some people that can't.
Well, then Whedon
Right.
came in and he just dropped his fucking hammer on everybody, and they're like, "This is the writing style." Everyone is
Yeah.
ready. Don't
Yep.
fuck with me. Peace
Right.
out, guys. Like, you can have it. That's what happened.
Right.
Because the
Right.
first 5 Marvel movies for their fucking little MCU, those were like my favorite. Like
Yes.
Thor, Incredible
Before they
Hulk,
became
Iron
comedies.
Man,
Yeah, the
fucking
first
Captain
ones, yeah.
America. Those,
Now they're
those
all
are my favorites.
comedies.
I mean, I like
Not
Blade
all
1
like
and 2
Pirates
the
of the
best.
Caribbean, like that.
Until,
that
until,
kind
until you get to Ultron, it's like it's when they got to
Sure.
Avenger Ultron. No.
But I like
Well,
the first
because
Whedon cut, the first fucking Avengers. I like that shit.
Yes.
That shit's
I don't
awesome.
like it. Avengers,
I like it.
okay.
That shit's
Avengers,
the
I love
Avengers
it.
is okay.
I thought you
because
meant Justice League. Sorry, I'm like, nah.
he kept-
Oh no.
Here's the
Ah.
thing. Here's the thing about the Avengers. Joss Whedon kept
Yep.
his Whedoniness like under control,
yeah.
right?
At bay. Yeah.
Right? He reeled it in, and then for Age of Ultron, he just went full.
Oh, Aiden. All over everybody.
Right.
And
Yeah,
everyone's
yeah,
like, "Ooh, that works. We can do that in every fucking movie with
Right.
every fucking main character, and
Yeah,
we can make
so they're all
billions."
comedies now, especially the Thor movies. Those are. You know,
Oh,
how can we drag this character through the?
now
mud
I gotta
and
go
make it
watch it
work?
because Russell Crowe's playing fucking Zeus, and then fucking
I'm not watching
Bale's
that
playing Gore. I gotta go
shit. I'm
watch
not
it.
watching that
And then
shit.
fucking Natalie Portman's Thor. It's like, fuck you guys, man. Why is it like all these tight ass fucking movies? They gotta like fuck all these characters in there that
Because-
like and messaging. Like same thing with Batman, but it's like, oh god, I gotta go watch them anyway. gotta
Well,
watch
it's not an accident.
No,
Okay.
it's
not
all
an accident.
thought out. It's
They're
all
doing it on
preordained.
I can tell you one thing, Matt. If you really miss good Thor stories, go read Ragnarok at IDW.
Oh, yeah,
Walt
that's the only-
Simonson.
That's the only mainstream book that I like buy like religiously. Like I'm waiting for like all.
Do
the
you
time.
really can we really consider that mainstream? Because it's technically them doing independent comics and getting printed
Yes, it
by
is.
It's
IDW.
like slight. It's like a slight mainstream, and like it was funny because like I'm not gonna lie to you, I like didn't even know who Walter Simonson was until I heard of Ragnarok, and that's what got me into him. Was I wasn't Thor, it wasn't any of the Marvel stuff. It was Ragnarok. So
Have
I've
you
just been
backed
following
up?
him. What's that?
Have you backed up and have you read like his Thor run, his original Marvel
Nope,
Thor
with the
run?
Frog and Thora and all that stuff. I need to go
Frog
back and
is
do that,
shit.
and then Beta Ray Bill or some of that.
Wait,
And before I even do that, before
Yes.
I do that, I'm gonna
Okay,
read
hold on.
fucking Terminator and fucking and RoboCop.
RoboCop.
That'd be the first thing. I would
Now
read.
you've
That's-
done.
that's
Now you've done and done it. Give me a second.
But the thing is, that's
Oh,
my
shit.
Thor. Like that's my Thor is the one that
Right.
he's creating. It's more Scandinavian compared to the Marvel one. You know what I mean? And it's way more fucking metal too, dude. So
Yeah,
I was
it
like,
is.
Fuck
With
it.
the
And I like the way he
jaw and
draws right now.
everything. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
There's that sexy face. That
What did you
handsome
say, Matt?
man. Busted out. I'm sure he's got a big omnibus.
Yes, I do.
A
But I'll
big
read,
Cinnamon block.
he's a big influence on me. Like even when I started Butch Cleaver, I was reading all the Ragnarok shit and like the way he sets up his action, his panels, the way he throws his fucking hammer.
He's a
know?
master. He's
So
a master.
I'll read anything that he does. What does he do? Starjammers. That's another one. I mean, his wife created like the
Right
fucking
there.
Warlocks and Apocalypse. You know,
Yeah,
I know
this
about all
year-
that stuff.
Yeah,
He's fucking Norwegian, so it's like he knows his shit too. You know,
yeah. Yeah, he does.
yeah, Star
And
Slammers.
Star
Yeah.
Slammers.
I have the RoboCop. I have the RoboCop versus Terminator thing that they
That's
did.
what I. That's what
So
I.
good.
With
Him and Frank Miller, right? Yeah,
Yep.
that's what I want to do first, and then I'll go back, and then to me, it just sounds like a fun quest to go back and reread his old stuff.
Exactly.
But I know I'm gonna fucking love his Orion.
Yeah, you are. Oh, nice.
I know I like his
Fourth world
his
stuff.
stuff now.
You know
and
what's amazing in this one?
what's
Mhm.
that?
When you go to the end, it's each issue back then is they had one of the big tier names coming in and doing a short story at the end of the comic. So they put it at the end of the trade. So you have Eric Larson, Jim Lee, Frank Miller, yeah, all of them doing little
Nice.
fourth world stories.
Oh, hell
John
yeah.
Byrne.
Now, the thing that drives me crazy about these omnibuses is if you don't get them right when they come out, you're going to be
They're gone.
Like, the prices, they're gone, and you
Yeah.
can get them for like $250.
Yep.
And come on. Obviously,
Yeah.
I have this too.
Your boy was doing a video about him, about Simonson, like a week ago, and he was talking about like the new artists at Marvel and stuff. They don't even know what the fuck to think about his artwork because
Hey,
they're
dude.
used to drawing like Tumblr and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know,
They're like, what the fuck is this shit? You're like,
You know
well,
what's-
we don't know what to do with it. Like, we don't know
Right.
how to react, even as a fan or as a coworker or a
That's
peer.
because because they're not fans.
Yeah.
One of the
No,
funny-
I mean, no, fuck no.
fans
It's
that are
amazing. It's amazing though. It's like how they can't, and it's just
Yeah.
oh my god. Like for me, like the way he draws the metal, the way he draws his speed lines, the way he cross hatches his backgrounds, like all that. I fucking zoom.
Like-
I like.
It's a funny
that.
thing. Like Walt Simonson's never been one of the characters, and I'm like, I want to emulate, or I looked up to, like, I want to, But dude, it's one of the main ones that everybody say that when they look at my shit, it goes, it doesn't look like it, but it reminds me of Walt Simonson. I'm like,
Maybe you souped them up because me, like I like there's shit that I like his because he's a lot of Kirby too, dude. He's a lot of Kirby.
Yeah,
He's a
man.
lot of Kirby.
yeah,
And,
but
like,
he was also a big
Buster-
European comic fan, so I'm guessing that's why. That's
Opie.
why people have that vibe because
Mobius, because I was studying him and I was studying his interviews and the stuff, like all that stuff. He always cites like Topi and Mobius and man, like a lot of people. But like for me, he's a big influence. And the way he just does all the fucking lines, like there's some balls in that guy, and like the way he throws it down. And
Yes.
his Ragnarok, I fucking love that. It's like probably the biggest book influence on me right now.
A master craftsman, and you know what? There's no place for him in American
No,
comics.
and he's a nice guy too. He's not comic skate or anything like that. Nor does he fucking need to be. You know what I
He
mean?
has-
He's a fucking.
He's an icon.
He's an icon, dude. He's a legend, so he doesn't fucking need to be. But it's just like, dude, he's a nice guy. He doesn't block
Dude,
me or nothing. I'm
I
always
was
like, dude, I
watching-
can't wait for the next book, bro. And he's always cool as fuck.
7-Eleven
Always
story.
responds to me and shit. Respects
Does
me.
it?
Fuck
The funniest part of that fucking interview, right, was the fact that the guy did some of the biggest fucking story arcs in Marvel.
Yeah,
He did some of the biggest freaking thing at DC.
and his wife too.
He has his own. Yeah. Louis Simonson, and dude, they're a huge name. They're legends. But
Yeah.
do you know the book that made him make the most money?
Thor. Oh, X-Men.
No. Cyberforce number 0 at 24-page. He made so much money that he took 10 years off.
Damn, that's tight as fuck. Good for him. I hope he fucking
for
lived it
him.
up and had a ball.
Dude, and that
You know what I
issue
mean?
was awesome. Yeah.
And I missed him. by 5 minutes or so. Oh, fuck. I told you guys the 7-Eleven story.
Oh yeah, that's when I was thinking about that too, and I was just like, fuck. Whenever I see, like, sometimes I'll drop some shit in there. Oh, you're working on Ragnarok next. Oh, IDW is fucking going. You ever think about crowdfunding? Like, I'll put that shit in there. Like, you know what I
me
mean?
too.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, dog, like, fuck. I love the zombie fucking Thor that's back, and he's fucking
Dude.
the 9 realms are merged. You know what I
Me-
mean? He has to go through all. Oh, dude, the fucking.
Me, I've
Have you watched Mortal yet? That movie that I recommended? Mortal?
No, I have to check that out. I'm gonna probably watch that tonight.
Yeah,
Let me go
you're
write
gonna-
that down.
Yeah, you're gonna dig that. That's a
You know-
really interesting take.
He's on the top of my list with Liam Sharp, and there's a few others on the top of my list that as soon as I can throw $1,000 at somebody,
Yeah.
I'm going to get them to do a cover or something.
Liam Sharp just seems like a cool guy. Like
Yeah, he's fucking. He's
gonna
freaking
block
awesome.
you on Twitter and shit.
Yeah,
you
he's
know what I
like
mean?
one of us. Yeah.
He's a bit like you, Brian. He's a total liberal side. He's a free speech type of guy, but everybody should get along and love each other.
Pretty
Yes.
much, dude. You know what I mean? Because like
Yes.
your political party could shift overnight.
Oh my
your-
god. dude.
Your fucking savior your Messiah could shift overnight. You know
I
what
didn't
mean? So it's like
Look. Like the left moved. It's not that I moved left to left of the left. It's that the left moved way to the fucking right.
Dude, I love the meme I shared not too long ago. Remember, I shared it like twice. It's like the guy's in the middle. Yeah, you have the left, the right, and he's in the center. He goes, "Oh, you have good ideas. You have good ideas." And you have the left that pushes the other guy like, "Fuck you."
Yes.
He falls down. He grabs him. He goes, "You okay?" "Yeah, I am." And the other one's like, "Why are you siding with the?"
Exactly. That's
It's
it.
weird,
That's
man.
in a nutshell. That's exactly it. Yup.
That's exactly the same for me because I'm like, I remember the first time I mentioned the Comicsgate stuff in the con, everybody started accusing me of being a freaking Trump lover and this. I'm like, I don't even care about Trump.
right.
Exactly.
No, we're
He's
in
a-
fucking Canada. What does it have to do with Trump now?
Yeah, I know. It's insane. But that's because he broke people's brains.
He's a
But that-
motherfucking Molotov, dude. It's just to the system, whether you hate him
Yes.
or love him, you know?
Yeah, a wrench that people threw.
Yeah. There's a wrench in the system. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the biggest middle finger that the working class in this country could give to the ruling class.
Yeah, that's why I voted for him. And I'll do it again.
Yeah.
too.
and I didn't. But guess what? I don't hate you for doing so.
Well, no, I mean, why would
But
you?
it
I mean,
makes
why would it? Why would it? You know, a
But
civilized.
that's exactly
human,
what I answered them. I'm like, dude, I wouldn't want to
You know?
vote for Trump, but if I would have been stuck in America right now, and the
Right.
two choice I have, it's Hillary Clinton and Trump, and if I don't vote, my vote can get like goes to whatever they decide it goes. I'm definitely gonna show up and go vote. And
Mhm.
two, I definitely don't want fucking Hillary Clinton in charge. So I would probably have
No
had to vote
fucking
for
way.
Trump or another guy if there is.
Well, it's old government. Are you going to vote? Just basics.
No,
Down to
look.
basics. Break it down for you
Look,
real quick. You're going to vote old government with all the old people that have been in there for fucking years.
Or,
that have done nothing.
I would have
Well,
done like
there's
most.
Something new
I would have.
that's
I would have done
business-oriented.
like most Quebecers do at election and go vote the Green Party because it's the weed party.
Yeah, well,
It's the fuck
what?
you one.
guess what? Registered green.
Yeah.
And that's how I always vote. I always vote
It
green.
depends which green, because there's the Green Party where it's like we want everything to be green, everything to be vegetarian, and then you have the green that's like pot leaf on it, and you're like, yeah, okay, that's the fuck you one, got it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And I can't say I'm crazy about the American Green Party, but the American Green Party has basically been shut down by the Democrats
Yeah.
because the Democrats won't allow us as a party to exist.
Dude, do you want to know? Do you want to know a funny one? The goddamn Green Party cunt voted for the Emergency Act with the NPD. You're like, seriously, those two fucking groups? They're supposed to be about,
Yeah. That's what it's supposed to be about, freedom. And yeah.
and
it's-
people over the government and over the freaking thing. That's supposed to be your party.
I know.
I just figure like they're all just kind of just rich
They are.
motherfuckers that kind of chill together and call themselves
are.
different things, and they're like, "Hey, you want to be this?" And like, "Hey,
Yeah,
you
and they
Just
have
looking
parties.
each
other up
They have
and shit.
parties at the World
No,
Economic
no.
Forum.
Look,
exactly."
it's wrestling. It's wrestling.
No,
It's
you're
like
right.
people
Yeah.
to get pissed off, for people to get pissed off because you voted for this person or voted for that person. That's like getting pissed off because like I like Hollywood Hogan, NWO,
Oh.
Black
Oh,
and
yeah,
White
that-
Hogan, and
yeah.
and you like
Okay.
Hulk Hogan, red and yellow.
Okay,
Yeah.
Frankie just said something there. It's funny, but it gave me another idea there. Because
Ah,
zombies won't eat politician brain, and I'm like, okay, no. We need to make a book. We need to make a book that the zombies only want to eat the elite's brains.
hey, well, there was a Deadpool story I think Tony Moore did and Brian Posehn wrote, where Deadpool had to kill every single American president, and he was resurrected. It was pretty fun. The guy he just was fresh off of the Walking Dead and the Venom book. That Venom book was fucking good too. I don't really know Rick Remender or whatever the fuck, but I like
Rick Remender
good,
is
dude.
a fucking good writer. Go read The Fear Agent. Is one
Oh,
of my fucking.
it's a shit.
It's one of my favorite fucking series, and it has an end. It has an end.
That Agent Venom was awesome. Like I like Flash Thompson more than fucking Eddie Brock. He was he didn't have legs. He was an a veteran. His father was a cop that beat the fuck out of him and drank, so he in turn became an alcoholic. So he had all that, but then the government gave him the Venom symbiote, and it turned him into Spawn basically. And he's fighting all these fucking monsters. Like there's like a Jeff Goldblum. There's a Jeff Goldblum fly in there, a disgusting fly man. He has to fight. That's gross, and like all these different monsters. And then it was a fun book, dude. Like I was like, this is fucking
Yeah,
badass.
Rick Remender is a freaking good writer. There's a
Yeah,
few
he is.
series I love.
Tony
from that
Moore
guy,
drew it.
dude.
Tony Moore drew it.
He wrote also some Ghosts of Tokyo or something like that, drawn by Sean Murphy. Dude,
Oh,
that shit's
Tokyo
fucking
Ghost?
legit.
Yeah, I seen the big ass book of it at Barnes and Noble. I was like, damn, because
Yeah.
Murphy, Sean, whatever his fucking name, he's a good
And
artist, dude. He's a good artist. I like his cars.
And I like the fact that so far all those freaking awesome series that he wrote, like there's some stuff that I really don't like. Okay, like the Frankenstein, the Franken Castle thing. I don't like it.
I like
love
that
Frankie
shit.
Castle.
I fucking
I
love
thought,
that shit.
yeah, but I just
Sorry.
don't like.
Some
I
people
just
hate
don't.
it, but I loved it. I don't know.
I think it's a fun horror. I think it's a fun
Yeah.
horror monster
It's like,
monster
this is tight.
story,
Oh,
but not
fuck.
fucking Punisher.
No, I hear you, but
No,
fuck, I love that
look,
shit. And I love the Punisher too.
Look at
But
Elseworlds. That's how I see it. I saw it as like an Elseworlds kind of a thing. And I mean, look, Frankencastle riding on a fucking dragon. You
I
know,
love that shit. Yeah, yeah.
That-
What's
that's
me?
yeah. I mean, it's good. Here's
It's
the
metal,
thing.
dude. It's fucking metal. I'm
Metal as
sorry,
fuck, and it's just insane. It's just bonkers.
but at least it's
Right?
the Punisher that is now. Like it's just
Yeah. So is it proper Punisher? No, of course not. It's
No.
not trying to be.
Yeah.
Right, and I love the fact that he gets chopped into pieces, and it's like it's Morbius and like the rest of the Legion of Monsters. It's like they can't find all of his parts.
Yeah, he has to go around and find him, right?
Well, they find as much as
Yeah,
they
but that's
can.
the thing. That's the thing I didn't like. Is it reminded me so much, dude? It's the same thing as the freaking Transformer episode when the Optimus Prime gets split in pieces and they make a crocodile out of one, and then the other one's there. And that's the thing I didn't like about it. But like I said, I love his storytelling. I enjoyed the thing, but it felt like you know what I mean?
Most people fucking hate it. I'm surprised Brian was like,
I
I
know.
fucking love that. I'm like,
I don't
I'm the
hate
only-
it. I
I'm
have
the
I have
elephant
the
in room
trade.
most of the time with books. Like for me, like there's
Me
something I
too.
like, I'll fucking tell you. Like, hey, I like that shit. I like the Batman. I like fucking. I
Yeah.
like Land of the Dead. I like fucking. You know, this
Like
metal
I
band.
bought
care.
the trade. I own the trade, but let's just say it's in the kid thing. You know what I mean? It's in the kid. It's in the library for
Wow.
everybody. It's not
Yeah.
in mine.
Like, here you go.
Oh, so it's not in the Simon Poitier secret stash.
Yeah, it's not in my stash where I'm gonna go looking through it often. But it was a fun read. But I thought it was. I thought the ending were. Oh, we're just gonna put his piece together and he's back. I'm like, fine, that's fucking stupid.
Well, yeah, I mean, because they had to fit it into like
Yeah.
the Marvel continuity. Yeah, I know that was stupid.
That's what I didn't
I-
like. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's what I said. The fact that they tried to make it fit in continuity. If it was just gonna be like Elseworld, if it would have been, hey, we're just going all out.
Yeah, it is a little
Without
cringe.
trying-
They did
without
it that
trying-
way.
Yeah,
But I still like it.
yeah, it's fun.
But
It's
it
fun.
is
And
kind of
look,
cringe though,
that's
when
what-
the way you're like trying to fit it in there, like fuck it into there. Like,
Well,
nah,
that's-
dude, it ain't gonna work.
No, but that's the thing. Rick Remender started out as an indie guy who went to work for Marvel, and he wasn't a very good fit. Jason Aaron was another guy. Oh boy, did you hear about his bitch move this week
Mm-mm.
about the Pocahontas thing? In his Conan comic.
I saw some Ripa doing some Conan shit, like
Yeah.
about someone apologizing for something, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe that had
Jason
some new.
Aaron, bitch made, man, bitch made.
Ooh.
Yeah, what happened was in his Conan comic, he took Pocahontas's like real name or one of her names and used it for a character.
Oh,
Right?
Okay.
Now, Robert E. Howard used to do that sort of a thing all the time, right?
Yeah.
Because he'd want to okay, so this is a group of people. They're not the Aztecs, but they're based on the Aztecs. Let me take an Aztec name.
Little
And-
little grounds here and there.
Yes. And so that's what Jason Aaron did. And so then some fucking SJWs, because if there's anybody, if those motherfuckers read comics, it's for one reason, and
Oh,
that's
it's
to find shit. So they raised up a Twitter mob, and Jason Aaron released a statement and said, well, he bent over backwards because first, of course, he apologized.
It's like,
He apologized. I'm so sorry. But he took it a step further. He took it a step further. And all future reprintings of that issue, the name is going to be changed.
damn, that's like the dong from fucking Batman and shit from fucking Damned. Damn,
That's
like
bitch. That's a bitch move right
some
there.
Fuckosaurus Rex there.
Right? That's
Damn.
like, please, please,
Oh,
forgive me.
I'd be like,
I'm so sorry.
Oh, hey, what's that?
Yeah.
Hey, fuck you. I wouldn't even fuck that. I don't apologize for nothing.
Eat
You know what I mean?
fucking a wheelbarrow, no, a fucking
Yeah.
dumpster
A
truck of
bowl.
dicks.
Yeah, exactly.
You fucking motherfuckers who only have the power that's given to them.
It's like, dude,
Right?
are they paying you that much money? Like, are they really paying you that?
Exactly.
Are they really paying
That's
you that
what I'm
much?
saying. That's
You
what
know,
I'm
like-
saying.
You don't want to Uber? You don't want to fucking scrub some toilets? You don't want to fucking dig some trenches? You don't want to bag some groceries? Fuck that shit.
He's enough.
Fuck
He's
those
already established enough
Fuck
of a
those
fucking name.
motherfuckers. Write your
Yeah.
fucking Conan book, motherfucker. Like that's just the way I see it. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, no, me too. I was just like, they can't be paying that fucking well for you to just give up your fucking dignity like that. Because there's certain shit you can't fucking part with. Because that's all, that's at the end of the day, that's all you have is just the person that you are.
Yeah,
Everything
you're
else
leaving that.
is away from you in a fucking heartbeat.
Yeah, and you're leaving that story for people to read. You know what I mean? Like me,
Yeah.
you, and Sim. Or people like us that are creating shit. You know what I mean? We're gonna leave this stuff behind. You know what I mean? And people are gonna know us for that. You know what I mean? You want to be known for bending over backwards for someone just because they're a fucking idiot and they're talking shit to you.
And they're not even fans. They don't even read fucking comic books.
Nope.
They're just fucking assholes on there, like whoever the fuck they are, you know, puppets, fucking
They're not
people
the
working
ones
for
spending
somebody,
money,
fans.
and they're not the one that built that fucking fandom.
No, that fandom's not even there anymore. They're gone.
No, well, it never was. They basically changed the comics, got rid of all of the old fans that they had.
Yeah, they made there's a fictional fantasy fan base.
Exist.
There's a fantasy fan base that does not exist. Like, here you go. They're not buying anything. There's some people that go in and buy shit, and they're just like, I guess I'm buying it now.
Disgusting.
Like, really?
Disgusting. And just sad and just
scene right
stupid.
here. This scene right here. Wasn't this such a good scene in the movie?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, check this out. I just love it. It just like Tarman comes out and Clu Gulliger just fucking. Let's see. Bing. Yeah, there he is, right before the connect. Boom.
Oh, cool.
That shot is so great. Yeah, the actor that they had playing the Tarman was like this really, really skinny guy in a mine.
That's the best.
Because you know, like when he walks, one of the things that you have to love about the Tarman is how he walks like all of his like tendons are loose.
Yeah, so good.
Right?
Like it's whipping very slow. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. Like
It's very peculiar and
and
So
memorable.
cool.
And you know, it's like Romero said, if dead flesh were to suddenly get up and move, odds are it probably wouldn't move very well.
Have you guys seen the concept art for this, for like the sketches? I'm sure you have. So good. Yeah. So like it's like kind of like Wrightson. I thought it was Wrightson for a while, and because I seen the guy that did it. You know his name, I'm sure, but he had like longer hair. And
I have an issue. I think I may even have it right over there.
I seen they were at like a Comic-Con, and the guy was talking about it, and he's like, yeah, like talking about the fucking movie and shit, and yeah, we were doing the designs for the artwork and and it's just I was just like, wow, this guy's badass, and it was in color, and I loved seeing that, man.
Oh, an iconic looking zombie? Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
one of the best.
And like I said, it's the same. It's the exact same design and drawings that you see in Heavy Metal, the freaking movie. When you go to the Aviator story, it's the same designs. And if you remember, Matt, probably the art looks the same. Because if you remember, man. It's
I have the issue of Cinema Fantastique that covers this movie, and that has all of those designs.
Oh man, that's so fucking cool.
I think it might be over there.
I love that, dude. Like, I just love that old, like, you know, EC kind of look. That's what it kind of was, dude. You know what I mean? But it looked like he was using paint or color pencils to color it. You know, like, oh fuck.
I tell some the crap.
Oh man, I love that shit. Like, I love, like, there's like a way to get that feel, like that first the Tom Savini remake of Night of the Living Dead, when Bill Moseley, they're out in the graveyard and the dude just walks up and he's just like, oh, to get that feel of EC but in color, for me that'd be the best way to describe it. You know what I mean? And in this movie too as well. It's hard to accomplish. It
is. And sometimes The Walking Dead gets that.
Yeah.
Occasionally. Right?
Yeah,
some of the zombies will have a very EC comics.
Nicotero.
Yeah, that usually you can only get in black and white or something like that, like they did with Sin City. Like it has a similar feel with Sin City.
Oh yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, the EC comics were originally printed in color. It's just that the reprints were in black and white, I think. But I mean,
I thought it was the other way around.
Was it?
I don't know. I thought it was because I got into EC later. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Well, we all did, because EC was like way before we were born.
And I remember, like, you know, when they were doing the big reprints and stuff like that, they were in color and stuff like that. But I'm guessing that the older ones came out in black and white because most comics were.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing.
Right, because it's not like, you know, any of us have EC comics in our
actual EC floppies, you know, from back in the days. No, like the older one I maybe have. It's like I have the big collector's edition from what's his name? Rubin.
Oh, I forget his name.
Kurt Rubin or something like that.
That sounds pretty familiar. He's the guy that did that cover that I love, where the dude's just like chopping his wife up with an axe.
Mm-hmm.
It's Kinetic.
He's the one that did all those Edgar Allan Poe stories too. The tall
Right.
tale. Yeah. So Corbin. There you go. It's Corbin. Richard Corbin. There you go. I have his epic book, but they're all colored and some are in black and white in there too. So that's what I'm saying. I always thought that the old one would always be in black and white, and the reprints would have been like they were able to have it colored. So.
Well, Corbin, didn't do EC Comics. He did Head Shop Comics. He did
Hiri. He did Hiri. Not yeah.
And also some Warren stuff as well.
Yeah, it's the Hiri collection.
Were all in black and white. And then there were the knockoffs of the Warren magazines, which was Eerie Comics. Not Eerie, but Eerie Comics was the name of the publisher. And those were the really sleazy ones. Those were the ones where the newsprint would rub off on your fingers.
Mm-hmm.
And on the covers were always incredibly bizarre. You'd have like a witch coming out of a coffin and a werewolf with a wooden stake in its heart, and a vampire pouring like flesh-eating ants on like a woman. And it was
the grifter version.
Yes, yeah, they have their own crude charm. I actually knew somebody that grew up in the house where they made those.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And there's a lot of not an ideal place for a child. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah, but they when it came out in theater, I think for them it was considered a flop. I don't know why. I don't know if the 14.2 million was just when they came out. I think maybe it's over time. I don't know.
Well,
is it how much it made on launch day? Because if it cost $4 million to make and they make 14.2 million,
look, there's a reason why they made sequels, right?
Yeah,
and the first sequel was a theatrical release, but it was so bad that Part 3 was released direct to video. But Part 3 is really good. And then I think for 4 and 5, I think they wanted Tobe Hooper, but they didn't get Tobe Hooper. And Tobe Hooper is one of those guys like Argento where I think he damaged his legacy by doing really bad movies. Like he did a really bad reimagining of the Toolbox Murders. He did Crocodile 2. And that's the thing about Carpenter, why part of me doesn't want to see Carpenter come back, is because there's a certain point where filmmakers start to damage their legacy. Like if I say to somebody that's just like a casual horror fan, they're just into like Eli Roth and Rob Zombie, and I'm like, oh, you need to check out Dario Argento. There's more bad Dario Argento movies than there are good ones, right? Like they'll go watch like Dario Argento's Dracula or anything that he's made in like the last 20 years. And they'll be like, Argento, that guy, what a fucking hack, when really they should be watching, Deep Red and Phenomena and Tenebrae and Suspiria and Inferno. But, his good works are minuscule compared to his shit now, And Romero was on that track, when unfortunately we lost him too. But at a certain point, you can also understand it's like you're a filmmaker, you want to keep making films, but then all you're allowed to do are just zombie movies. It annoys me that people are now talking about, unfilmed Romero screenplays. And like they're these treasures, and like, oh, it's like, well, now you motherfuckers give a fuck, right? It's like you didn't give a fuck when the guy was alive, but now you're like, ooh, maybe like some other director will do these. It's like I don't give a fuck, man. He didn't get the respect that he deserved while he was alive. Oh yeah, there we go, Bernie Wrightson. Yeah, I got that on my shelf, the original first print in Creepshow.
But can I just say one thing? I don't know if you guys heard about it, and I personally am happy. I just hope that it won't go woke, but I'm confident that it won't if the condition is met.
Okay.
So there's been talk, and both of them have talked about it, that there might be another Snakes Plissken.
Bring it on.
I know they wanted George.
And only if Kurt Russell comes back, and Kurt Russell,
Come on.
and it's only if Kurt Russell comes back, directed by him, and Kurt Russell mentioned that he was interested because he is really fond of the character, and he's the one that convinced him to do this the sequel reboot. By the sequel, it's a sequel when you think about it.
Make the sequel. Give him a beard. Give him a fucking big ass Fu Manchu. Give him a handlebar. Make it white.
Did you see Fat Man?
Not yet. I want to though.
Go watch Fat Man, Matt. Go watch Fat Man.
I've heard that that's awesome.
I'm gonna check it out.
It is.
I'm gonna try to be him for Halloween in like 2 years.
I'm
I'm gonna be the one from part 3 though. I always wanted the fucking.
Dude,
I want that one
fucking
more.
cool.
I want that toy, Brian. But I always wanted the McFarlane one. You remember the McFarlane one? But I never got it.
Oh, I got the McFarlane one. You didn't. It's a good thing that you didn't get it.
I just wanted to keep it in there.
Shit.
Yeah.
The McFarlane
broke in my hands.
Look at
Dude,
this
the
shit,
worst
dog.
toy I ever got from McFarlane was the fucking RoboCop. I bought it 3 times and
I
it kept
bought it
freaking
back.
breaking at the same place.
Ooh.
$40.
Oh, was that the Bernie Wrightson?
This is the French one. $40.
Mm.
Fucking Amazon. I got this like 6 fucking months ago. Yeah,
I'm trying to
it's badass, dude.
blow your ass up. Hold on.
You have to click.
Here.
No, you have to click the little square. The little square on the top left of his
Oh,
icon.
yeah, there we go. Oh, beautiful.
And I didn't buy it for the words. I bought it for the pictures
Of course.
because I already got the fucking
Right.
the book.
Oh,
I got this to study his art. His
what a
painting
G.
styles, all the different
Yeah.
mini styles he did, and he was working on this on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, $40 on Amazon from France,
Yep.
hardcover. Can't beat it. It's fucking bigger than a regular comic book.
How
So-
much did you pay for that?
$40, and you can get an original for
Yes.
$400.
Yup.
Fuck that shit in English,
that shit.
but
Yeah. You know.
This is the advantage of being bilingual.
right?
Yeah, absolutely, dude. But I remember when Bernie died, Preston and we did a stream together. I forget if you were there, Sim,
Yeah, well,
but he was
he was a
you
legend.
know, Wrightson is to horror what Frazetta is to high fantasy.
Yep.
Totally.
Do you know what I'm saying? In other
Mhm.
words, when it comes to that genre in their field, they're titans.
Iconoclast.
Yeah, you can't touch
They're
it.
the masters.
They're the
It
masters.
sucked, man. It sucked too because like I was getting into him right when he died. I was watching like interviews with him because I was buying the Alive from him and Niles.
Yeah, me too.
And I met Niles at Comic-Con. I'm like, this is fucking cool. You know what I mean? Like, I like this artist, and I didn't
Right.
know he was responsible for Ghostbusters and all these other fucking movies that we love. You know what I mean?
It's
and
like it's like
I
when
mean,
you
I
get to
fucking
know
watch
more.
Creepshow, dude. Like,
Dude.
fucking as a kid, this is one of my favorite fucking horror movies. You know, and it's
me
like this
too.
guy's responsible. Like, there's a reason why all these things look a certain way because he's fucking drawing it.
And
Yeah.
they
And,
can draw and they can draw different styles. They can do different things,
Yeah.
and that's one of the things that's amazing. Like when you look at Mobius and you start going, "Oh, what's his name, Jean Giraud?" and you look at his old stuff, you're like, "Oh, dude, okay, he did influence a whole bunch of fucking people."
Bunch of movies.
You're like, okay. Then you're like, now I know why all the big guys are talking about fucking Jean Giraud and Mobius.
It's not just fucking. It's not just
Yeah.
fucking Fifth Element, huh?
But that's the thing. It's like there's so many people out there that haven't encountered this stuff, and they're missing out.
And it's like they
And
don't
the
give a
more we
fuck.
can
And
make
it's
them
like
aware of it. I'm sorry,
And
you're
they
saying
will-
that.
no, it's like I'm commenting on what you're saying. I'm chiming in like it's like they don't give a fuck. But like you're saying, if we show them, then they'll give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Another one I want to point out is, he passed away not too long ago, and not many people know him, but his name was Juan Ramirez.
Yes. Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
man is a master of sci-fi. Like, I'm sorry, like I love a whole bunch of people, but a lot of people don't know him by name. But dude, that guy's been around for so fucking long. He influenced most of the freaking sci-fi there is there. And he
It's
was
true.
one of the first one to have that gritty mixed color style that Bisley has, everybody has, and he was there in the 60s, 70s. he was amazing, and he was so underrated, and he died not appreciated as much as he should have.
I agree. He
was a master of his shit.
Master.
Yeah.
Yeah. Without a doubt. And that's always sad when you have people that don't get the appreciation that they deserve while they're alive. And why it's always warming to see that they do, when people do get the appreciation that they deserve when they're still around. And to me, that's always been what part of conventions were always about, was showing these guys some love. Being like,
and then you go in and then you realize that they're not getting that much love, and everybody else is making money but them, and then you're
like Bernie, for instance. Preston said he would really nice guy.
Bernie, Kirby, Mobius made a lot of money at the end because of the movies. That's what made him like be very comfortable, because that's what they did. A lot of the Metal Hurlant heavy metal original crew were working on Star Wars before there was Star Wars.
no shit, right? The Darth Vader helmet. Yeah, man. And my God, the influencing so much media that then influences other people, and so it's like you've seen the influence like third generation, fourth generation.
Dude, it's like Druyet. That Philippe Druyet. A lot of people don't know who that guy is. He's the actual creator of the design of Darth Vader. Okay. The guy's been around for so fucking long that he's been working in movies. And if you go look at his art, then you'll understand where Cam Kennedy and all those other people come from. He's the one with the very sketchy style that was very archaic and stuff like that. But awesome. He did Lone Sloan and all that stuff, and he was amazing, and he's still alive, so there's still time to go show him some love.
Right. Yeah, man.
And he's one of the original funders of Metal Hurlant with Mobius.
Yep. Which was a collective of French comic book artists who were like, fuck doing it for other people, we're going to do this for ourselves. And we're going to do this the way we want to do it. It was, the thing that was so, revolutionary about Metal Hurlant. And then when it came here to the States in the form of heavy metal,
see the Cam Kennedy,
blew my freaking head off. Made a lot of people's heads explode in a good way. I'm sorry. What did you just say?
No, I'm showing off as in like, look, the Cam Kennedy style that you see in Star Wars and all those sci-fi, like from 2080. That's where it's from.
John Carpenter too, or John Carter.
The book.
Yep.
Yeah, Delirious 2. That's the old one, Delirious 1.
Yeah, man.
See the art style in there.
Yep.
I love
Belial is another guy.
And dude, I showed that guy to Joe Ball, and Joe Ball went, holy fucking shit, and he's been leveling up ever since, dude.
Now, doesn't that make you feel good?
See,
when
you recognize the new motif and style. There you go.
Yes.
That's where that dude. I'm like, dude, I need to show you that, guys, because your style reminds me of that guy, and he went ballistic.
Oh yeah, I love Joe Ball's like new covers and stuff. Like that Testament cover he did was like one of my favorite covers from Comicsgate.
Beautiful. Look at that.
Right? And this is the new thing that just came out, right? He's not drawing the book anymore. He got a new young team to take over. But I picked it up because he handpicked them. So he did the cover.
Oh yeah, boy.
And it's, as you can see, it's shiny as hell, right?
Yeah, man.
Interior art is good, but what the freaking thing he did was freaking funny. If you go on Amazon, it says there's only one page. Okay? Yeah. I'm like, why the hell would they say there's only one page, right? Like, so I get the book. I'm like, okay, the art's cool. It's not his style, but it's decent. So it's a good thing. And then I'm like, oh, would you look at that, right?
Oh, bitchin'. Oh,
by
That's fucking gangster right there.
I know, right?
Fucking full out poster.
Then I'm like, that's why it said one page.
The fucking French, man. This is the fucking shit that we should be doing. This is the model that we should be following, not the Japanese model, the French model.
Oh yeah,
dude,
not
that's
even
the
the
shit
character
right
one
there.
anymore.
That's the shit right there.
Oh, that's what I'm gonna try to do personally.
Isn't that fucking tight?
I know,
Yeah.
right?
God damn. Yeah, but how good is it? And that's why, you know, I can't stand people that are knowledgeable about certain stuff and they gatekeep and people don't know about it and they're just like, no, you don't know about that. Like you're so inferior to me. No, if you know about this shit, it's your duty to share it and make as many people aware of it as possible. And like, I mean, like, my God, it's just like what you were saying about Joe Ball, how his work now is better as a result of you introducing him to French comics.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
But that's the thing. It's and it's when people are like, "Where do you get your style?" That's what I say. It's like, dude, I'm influenced by French comic, by manga, by everything. I don't try to do
Right.
one thing. I'm not trying to do American comics. I'm not trying to do French comics. I'm trying to do
Right.
comics. Nobody in their freaking mind, when they start doing a fucking comics, they say, "I'm doing a manga and I'm doing this." They're doing a comic.
Right.
And they're
all
doing by,
manga means is
they're
comic.
doing it by the freaking culture around them. Obviously, it's going to be influenced by it. But I was lucky enough to be raised in Canada, Quebec,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So that gave me access because of the French side that we have. We had early access to anime, manga, and everything before the rest.
Yep.
And
We only got that shit as
grew
a trickle.
I grew up with Captain Harlock in French on TV. I grew up with Grandizer in French on TV. You know what I mean? Watching G-Force and shit like that early age. You know what I mean?
Now, what was your version of like we got Gatchaman as Battle for the Planets?
La Force G, the G-Force.
So
It was called La Force G.
But was it edited? Did it have like the robots at the beginning, like in the bumpers and everything? Because I know like it was too violent, I think, for
not us.
Ah, yeah. Oh, that's fantastic.
No,
oh,
we in Canada, we don't have problem with violence or blowing up cartoons, blowing up each other type of thing.
Right.
You know, come on, Looney Tunes is one of the most famous thing here, right?
Right. Yeah.
But the thing, they have problem with gore.
Right.
That's a difference. Gore, violence. You know, like gory violence. They have a problem with that.
They don't like anatomy parts.
No, they like nudes. They just don't like to be seeing like the tit being cut off. You know.
The internal organs.
All right, fellas, we should wrap this up. We're at like 2.5 hours. Everybody that's been hanging out, thank you so much for tuning in. Much love. And oh yeah, Grandizer right there.
The English version's coming up in a month, or two. According to what he told me.
Oh, I got the American version of the French Conan. By the way,
Which one?
Sumerian?
Oh, it's the Sumerian.
That one?
Yes.
Yeah, that shit looks
Yeah.
badass.
Oh, no, I got volume 1, and I still have to get 2. There it is.
One?
Yeah, loved it to pieces. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
especially
I told you would.
And the Queen of Black Host was good too. Yeah, man.
I mean, I have to grab the third one as soon as it's on special.
Well, I got the next Elric on pre-order.
Already?
Yeah, man.
I got 3. I still got to read it. I got it on my bookshelf. I got to
so
read
good.
that.
I still haven't read 1, 2, 3.
I read 1 and 2. I can't wait to read 3.
I love the art so far.
Art's
Like I
fucking
haven't had
phenomenal.
time to sit down and right now it's like I sit down. I'm like, what am I gonna read? There's so many freaking things.
Same here,
I
man.
know. It's a good problem to have, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I got 3
totally.
omnibus of Empowered to read it. I got volume 6, 7, 8, 9 to read of Berserk,
Right.
like the big deluxe edition.
Oh my God, I want those
Yeah.
so bad. I can't afford that shit right now, though.
Oh yeah,
I
I
spent
had
all
them
my
all.
money on making comics.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, go back my campaign.
Yeah, buy more fucking comics.
It's to produce my book. It's my get the fuck out to safety campaign, and it's also to back more campaigns.
Yeah, man. For next week, I'm thinking about doing. Wait,
The screen is black. Yeah,
I
okay.
know. Let me see. Okay, let me try this again. finally stop being boomerish. And let me see. Oh fuck it. We'll do it live. We'll try it next week. But I was thinking about doing maybe the Monster Club. Have you guys ever seen that or heard of it?
No, I know Monster Squad, but
yeah,
that's pretty fucking cool.
Is that Stan Lee?
That's
Right?
no, it's Vincent Price, and it's a painting by John Bolton.
Oh, okay.
And there's artwork in the movie that's given, like, it's not like it Bernie Wrightson did artwork for this movie.
Fuck yeah. Can we
That
do
gets
this one?
like close up, yeah. And it's like, in other words, the actual artwork is in the movie. It's not that he did designs that they then used for the movie. It's like actual Bernie Wrightson stuff in the
I
movie.
see there's a fucking metal band on stage or a rock band, and like it looks cool, dude. And there's monsters in it. Bernie, I mean, fuck, dude.
But
Can
yeah,
we do this next week?
Yeah.
Sounds cool.
yeah. Be prepared to be disappointed. It doesn't look that cool.
Oh.
I would love to see an animated movie that looked like this.
Oh,
But I love. I love.
sounds fun.
It's the last of the Milton Subotsky anthology horror movies. And it's based on a really good novel, and it has a bunch of musical interludes by bands,
Totally.
and they fucked up. There were like a lot of bands that were like significant that they could have had that they didn't. They passed up. They got all the wrong bands. But it's one of those movies that I love. Not in spite of its flaws, but because of its flaws.
Yeah, I'm like Frankie there. I thought you said Monster Squad.
Yeah.
Monster Squad's a great one too, but everyone's seen that. So plan is next week, Monster Club, because
Sounds
it is on the it is on the Tubi.
I'll try and watch it.
Okay.
You're gonna put the link in the DM group.
Most definitely. All right, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in.
That Duck Killer movie, that was shit.
The Duck Killer movie? What are you talking about? Oh, New York Ripper.
Yeah, no. That was shit. I'm like starting watching and I'm like, what the fuck is this Donald Duck? I'm done.
Oh my god. The Stephen Romano comics. The one where they did an adaptation of Maniac, and in it there's Maniac versus the New York Ripper. And he's got the stuck mask and everything.
Oh, okay.
He steals one of Frank's kills.
Oh man.
Yeah, so like that ain't right. And it's one of these days. If you haven't seen the Ebon comics, that dude's doing it right. That dude's doing it French style. And I don't know if he's making any money. His books are on the expensive side, but they're awesome. They're fantastic.
Oh yeah, the fucking artwork's insane.
Insane. Like perfect. Like every page is that.
Mad fucking line work. Horror style.
Speaking of perfect, links below in the description. You can back Six Gun Gorilla, which is shipping. Also, my boy Matt. There's a link below in the description for Butch Cleaver. Go back.
I'll show you guys something. My buddy
please.
Murphy's got a book out called Long Shadow. It's a prose.
Yes.
Or not a prose.
Yes.
I'm sorry. It's a pulp mag, and I did a little piece for it right here.
Preston did one too.
Yeah. So if you guys want to read like a pulp book, kind of like Solomon Kane or Conan, it's this beer drinking orc detective. He needs a couple more bucks to get his book funded. It's going to be something a little different. So if you guys go check it out, it's called Long Shadow. It looks badass. So if you guys check it out, I really appreciate it. And I'm going to be doing Butch Cleaver fulfillment this week or next week. We're starting up. I'm already getting everything rolling on that. So
woohoo!
Already here, good to go. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. So
and just like I did the last time with Butch Cleaver, where if you back Long Shadow, you get that free print by me.
That's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to show that to us, Sim?
Yeah.
If you have it handy. not to
Let me
bust
go
your
get it.
balls or anything. Because
I was gonna ask you if you wanted, if you mind if we showed my promo video before we close.
Go fuck yourself, Sid.
Ah, fuck.
No,
Okay.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
No,
I was gonna ask, like,
what did I do to you?
I was gonna-
I gotta back that fucking Nat too.
Yes, go back Nat the Merc, the Tales from the Natverse, the new Tales from the Natverse, the new shit.
Yeah.
The new
80
Fun as fuck.
page,
Popcorn
possibly
and beer,
even
motherfucker.
80 page minimum, possibly over 100 page if we reach 20K.
baby.
What's up?
Yeah.
So you can-
Oh,
yeah.
oh, that's
Listen.
right. Yeah. Oh wait, hold on. Let me close that. Let me open this.
This is something I did during this the Inkslayers art show that I do.
Yeah.
You have to share my screen. 'Cause now you're sharing me.
Oh, I'm sharing you. Oh, die.
There it is.
So this is the thing I did during the live stream. It's technically like it's a cool little rough pencil sketch, and you're getting a print of it. And I was doing that too with it.
Fucking badass. Who
Yeah,
colored
people
that,
go back
man?
Long Shadow. Oh, damn. Is that Beacon or is that Scott's or?
No, that's me, and that's just the basic colors.
Damn.
Oh,
That's a
hey.
full
sick,
digital
bro.
painting. Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah, I
the
love
coloring,
dude, I
dude.
love seeing you color your own stuff. It's turning out great.
Very immersive.
I'm
Very
practicing.
cinematic. Love it.
Yeah, well, you're practicing and you're leveling up, and that's one of the things I love about this freaking scene is watching people leveling up.
And I hadn't had the chance of doing like colors like that in a while, and yeah, it feels good going back at it. And come on, I'm hanging out with two of the best colorists there is.
Yeah, you are.
You've seen me and Beacon level up. No wonder.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys are fucking killing
Yeah,
it.
baby. Now let me see. Just
And the video I'm gonna play, it's the video with the voiceover of Red. I don't know if you heard it on the campaign yet.
no, I
Red does the best trailers, man.
No, I did the trailer. You did the voiceover.
Oh, no shit. A little combo, huh? That's
You want to
what
play
we did
that shit?
for Bush
You want to play
Leaver
that
2.
shit?
Yeah, of course.
Please. Have at it, Hoss.
Yeah.
From the Natverse 2, an 80-page full-color anthology series by Sim. Wait, is this an original soundtrack? What the? Animation and an original soundtrack? That's so cool. Okay, back to the book. In this series, you will get 3 stories plus 1 extra unlockable story if we reach 10K during funding. Lawani, Murder Doll, 13 pages. Nat the Merc, Planet 69, 37 pages. Lawani, Metal Valkyrie, 28 pages. And Nat the Merc, Blood Brothers Part 2, 13 pages. Damn! Check out this sexy Lawani digital painting print by Sim. And this amazing Sim and Inkspot's heavy metal style cover. The book is 69% done. We got more 6 a.m. stickers to be unlocked and a free sketch card to every physical backer when we reach 15K. Tales from the Natverse 2, only on Indiegogo.
People, do not be wieners. Be a winner and go back that shit today.
The more metal than heavy metal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And I'll answer to Leon goes Planet 39. Oh my, I'm like, don't be cheap. It's 69. Go all the way.
What up, Liam? By the way, good to see you. Good to see you,
What's up,
man.
Liam?
And Lillian, thank you also for turning up. This was a really fun stream. Sim, thank you so much for dropping by.
Well, I'll be by if I watch the movie. I won't come on the stream if I haven't seen the movie. But
Okay.
if I have time to watch the movie and be there, I'll be here. I told you I would.
You got it. Man. You got it. And so I will
Otherwise,
post,
I'm in the chat.
I will post. Yeah, I will post the link to the Monster Club, and you don't want to miss that. You may hate it, but you're still
Really?
gonna have to watch that shit. Trust me.
Okay.
And Matt, as always, thank you, brother, holding it down. Go back Butch Cleaver. Go back Nat.
Oh,
Go back Six Gun Gorilla. Go, support indie comics, people.
indie underground, baby. That's where it's
Yeah.
at.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about.
And everybody's success is everybody's success. Get it?
Yep.
There it is.
Yep.
There it is. And so I wish you all peace and love, everybody. Peace and love, like Ringo says, peace and love.